Yo, what is up, guys? It's almost that time for some DPS podcast. We sitting in the ready room waiting to get this thing started. Gonna be a very interesting day. A lot of people had a lot of stuff to say today because of the whole stuff that happened around I would say Blizzard, but that's the stuff, man. But they just made this day great. So it's gonna be a fun day. Just wait for everybody to file in. We got a couple of minutes left, but I'm your boy Forte, and we're gonna have fun today. Yo, shout out to everybody. Shout out to your boy Bitchy Dies a Lot. Shout out to you in the chat, bro. Shout out to Capoto coming through. Shout out to Arcade. Yo, it's gonna be a great show. Just wait for everybody to join up, so we're gonna have a little bit of fun. But we'll be ready in the next 4 minutes, so we will see you guys then. Buckle up, it's gonna be a great show, man. It's gonna be a great show.
I'm chilling, man. I'm doing great today. It's been a hilarious day, right? Right. It's
Mhm.
been a day. Uh-oh. Um, People saying they can't hear anyone.
My,
Muted?
oh, I muted.
How do you do this every time?
And it wouldn't be the show if I didn't do it. Okay, shut. All right, once again.
That should not be
Wow.
how this
Listen,
starts. It
listen,
wouldn't be a
listen,
show if I wasn't
listen,
screwing up every time.
listen,
Like that
listen.
is that what it is? It's supposed to be
Color me
is
impressed if I ever
is this
do it the
supposed to
right
be like
way.
a charm thing? Are you Bethesda now? You know,
Oh,
Oh,
or is
man.
the DPS show bugs charm now? Is that what
Is it
this is?
delayed? Is the
it is.
podcast delayed?
Forte's audio was definitely delayed, but all right, we'll do this again. Once again, DPS podcast
Lord have
episode
mercy.
83 because I said some very nice things about slow mo that I'm glad you guys didn't hear. But like I said, there's a lot of stuff to talk about today. So I'm gonna throw it over to the co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the man of many slaps, the man that is here for you, slow mo backslap. What is going on, sir?
What's going on is I'm apologize to our esteemed guests and the chat for the
We don't have to
constant
linger on it.
technical
We don't have to
difficulties
linger
that
on it.
continue to happen every other week with Damage Per Second podcast. And it just so happens it always happens when Forte is hosting. It's just weird how that happens. Like I don't know exactly,
Coincidence.
can't put my finger on why it happens. I mean, I think maybe most of you can figure it out. I mean, a
You're putting
preschooler can figure it
putting
out.
some bad
But
energy out there, bro.
still, hey, look, man, it's a bad energy day. So it's whatever. But no, seriously, shout out to you guys. And shout out to our guests for coming through. I'm so happy to have Erica here. Shout out to
Yeah.
Eric Cuts for the win. What's up with you?
What's up? Overdue, right? I've been
Right,
wanting to
right.
come on for a minute, yeah. But with all these technical difficulties, I don't know, man. This might be my last appearance. I don't know.
Yeah, just make sure you come when slow mo's hosting. It'll be even better.
Unprofessional.
I
Nah.
Yeah, it's
know.
very, very.
But no, I love you guys. You both have good chemistry, like the back and forth. I always get a kick out of you guys. So it's nice to be here. It'll be fun.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Sir X-Men with the $10 holla. He says, pay for a mover next time. This should help. What is you talking about? Who needs a mover? I don't need a mover. It seems like Xbox needs a mover right now because they ain't got no games at the house that they at right now. So they might need to move down the street in order to
Can the
find some
mover
games.
develop games?
Oh,
Is the question I have.
that's a good
Are
question.
they like that kind of multitasker? They move furniture and they make games? Because
Mm,
that seems to be the problem. Like making games
making
and
games.
in a timely fashion, and not having literally everybody incapable of delivering a game,
Mm.
this year.
Oh,
I don't know.
fat. So first of all, before we get into it, what has everybody playing? Erica, what's been in your console of late? What you been up to?
My console.
Oh, PC. I forgot. I
Exactly.
No,
still
I'm
gotta
just
remember.
kidding.
Listen, I gotta
What,
read. Listen, I
what
know
is
you.
this?
Listen, I known you ever since
How
you.
dare you?
I know you since you were a retired clicky clack pony. So I keep forgetting that you're a
Oh, is
PC
that what I'm
person now.
known?
Hey,
Wait
that's
a
what
minute. Wait a
that's
minute.
what people thought, man. When you were on a
Whoa.
podcast with certain
People.
people, they thought you were part of that you were part of the console war fan
Ah.
base.
I guess I'm not part of people. I never thought Erica
Well,
was
I
a
never
pony.
did either, but I'm just
So
So,
you didn't.
no,
so
never,
wait a minute. Wait a
never,
minute. So
never.
I was guilty by association, is what you're saying.
Exactly. There it is.
Oh
Just like I'm
man.
guilty, for doing this slow every week. People think I'm always doing something crazy.
Nah, but I kind of was a pony last night. I'm back on that Bloodborne.
Oh,
I
well,
started it again.
can't be
I
mad
had
at that.
it. I mean, after playing Elden Ring, I was like, man, I'm kind of craving Bloodborne. And then I see Luca playing it. I see others posting screenshots. I'm like, I gotta go back. So yeah, I streamed last night, played it. It felt good, I'm back with
Well,
that. And then
I've never played Bloodborne. What's the drastic differences between Bloodborne and Elden Ring? Like as far as combat goes.
ooh, Bloodborne's way more aggressive. You don't have a
Hmm.
shield,
Yes, I
really.
love that.
Yeah,
I don't use a shield.
it's all about offense, dodging, lesser frame rate. It's got that issue, but no,
Yeah,
it's
30 FPS. Yeah.
Yeah, not as many weapons, but the ones they have are pretty awesome. I love Bloodborne.
Mm.
It's a great game.
Luca
Yeah.
says
You
it's
got to
got
play
better.
it.
It's got better bosses.
Hell yes, Luca knows. Better bosses. The music's amazing. Aesthetics is amazing.
Oh,
Bloodborne is
story.
awesome.
The story.
The
It, it,
lore is freaking amazing.
well, I like Elden Ring's lore. I just don't like how the story's told. It's not. I don't think it's told. Is it basically told the same way? Just kind of like figure it
Uh
out.
it's
Hmm.
pretty interesting knowing the lore and then playing Bloodborne again because when you talk to the NPCs and you kind of know how it's going to piece together, there's like some sad stories in there. And when you talk to this specific person, like, oh, I know what's coming, so it's kind of, it's there. I feel like the story's there. It's just you kind of have to piece it together, basically.
Right.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so it's like Elden Ring. Like you got to go
Yeah.
investigating for it. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll tell you. I don't want to spoil it, but Slomo, you got to play it.
Oh my
Play
god.
some Bloodborne.
I want to play it.
You
I
just
just
don't
don't
want to
want to
play
play
it
it at
on.
30 frames per second. It's like
uh,
I need Sony to do something about
The
this. We need an update. We need
Slobo say he
you
don't wait for
know,
remaster or
games.
something.
You know what it is like because I was streaming and the chat would bring it up like, oh, these frames. But I did my best to kind of not think about it, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was on the PS5, but but other than that, I mean, I started Horizon a couple weeks ago, and I'm gonna get
Okay.
back on
Really?
that. Yeah,
How
just
far are
started
you?
Horizon. Probably like 5 hours.
Oh, okay. All right. That's
I'm
fine.
early. I'm very early. Yeah, and I just been kind of dabbling like Game Pass. There's a couple games on Game Pass I was playing. And that's kinda it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Slow mo. I know you ain't been playing nothing but Rogue Company or something like that. What you been playing, man?
Mm.
Well, okay. Well, I don't like the way you said Road Company. It was very disrespectful.
Or
And
something
for
like that, he
or
said.
something like that. And for a game that actually delivers content, unlike Halo Infinite, and has new maps, unlike Halo Infinite, and actually basically does everything that Halo Infinite don't do, I think Road Company deserves a tad bit more respect.
I agree.
Anyway,
I
yes,
agree
I
with that.
have been playing Road Company. It's been awesome. They made some changes to the rogues. Now you can see like how some rogues are like faster than others,
Mm.
and some of them are tankier. They added new perks specific to each individual rogue as well. So like if you got Anvil, who's like big heavy dude, he can take like if you add like the certain perks. I forgot the new ones names, but there's one that gives him like it reduces body damage by 15%. And it can also give him, there's another one that can give him 75 more armor. But then you got like Lancer, who is the fastest in the game. And it like clearly shows now. It's so much fun. It's great. So we're playing that. What else here? I have been playing. I've been helping my old college roommate in Elden Ring. He's even greener in Souls games than I am, so it's
Oh
like it's
man.
weird. It's a weird position for me because I'm like, he's like, "Hey, why don't I just go by this cliff?" And like, "Whoa, hey, don't do that because fall damage. You about to die." No, I'm not. Oh, I'm dead. You was right. I'm like,
Oh
yes.
man.
So it's like I'm kind of like where I used to be, that's where he is now. And it's cool, we co-op some bosses and stuff, and he gets two tapped and we laugh, and it's hilarious. So it's fun. It's fun, dealing with invaders. We had this one invader that was absolutely this guy was funny because I forgot what his name was. It was something like clap your cheeks or something like that. And we were at the Lucia Renarian, whatever it's called, Academy. And as soon as we walked out into like this open courtyard, this guy had that cannon, that like the only cannon in the game, and he's like shooting us from like way atop this spot. Like, how did he even get up there? It was hilarious. But no, I've been having fun. I've been playing those two games, and I did actually play the Division today. The new update for the Division 2 came through, and I did a portion of it, but I haven't done the new mode yet because I played it in the public test server, and it kind of sucks. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
that's all I've been playing so far. All the other games I was playing last week, I haven't gone back to them yet. It's getting bad, man. It's just like it's all the games that I need to finish are starting to pile up. I haven't beat a game in 2 months. This is like a long,
Ooh.
long
So,
streak for me.
so what's that streak on Horizon still not being turned on?
Mm.
Why you gotta bring this up every week?
Because
I'm
you
gonna get
Have you
back
not
to it.
started it?
no, he
No, no, no,
started
no, no.
it.
I'm
El-
halfway through Horizon.
But
Oh, you put it down.
he dropped it
Yeah.
when Elden Ring came out, and then when he
I
was
I
and then when
played it.
it
I
did,
played it one night for like 3 hours
and then
since Elden Ring came out.
yeah, he dropped it. But this is the funny thing is he always says to me, I'm definitely gonna go back and do some Horizon. I was like,
Nope,
nah, bro. I
nope.
said you and Horizon are pretty much done until probably later in the year. He said, no, that's not true. I said, Solomon, how much of that that Tiny Tina did you play? He's like, oh yeah, I've been playing a
That's
lot more of
different.
that.
That's different.
No, it's not
You
I'm a
skipping
different.
around.
I'm a
You
huge
Yeah,
skipping
Borderlands fan.
around then.
No. I'm a huge Borderlands fan. I know, like, I could feel it when I was playing Tiny Tina that like if I keep playing this game, I'm not gonna play anything else. And at the time, I had not beat Elden Ring yet, so I was like, let me go ahead and beat Elden Ring. And I'll get back to this. But look, I'm saying if I play Tiny Tina right now, I'm never gonna beat Horizon. So I'm just like I'm waiting, and then once
You're
I get some of
waiting
these
to
games
not
out the
play
way.
anything at this point, basically.
He's co-oping on Elden Ring. He's playing Elden
Well,
Ring.
yeah.
Exactly.
He's
I'm
been
playing
playing.
stuff,
Well, he also
unlike you.
said like 2 weeks ago, like what 3 days ago in a party with me and Luca that he said, man, I'm done with Elden Ring. I think I'm finally finished with it. Now he found this renewed focus to basically become a teacher, being upgraded from a student. Now he feels like, oh man, I can go in here and help people now because he knows the trick of the trades now. But Slomo, it's okay. You're never gonna.
He's an expert now.
He's
Oh, well,
shout out to
definitely
him.
not.
You had how many characters? Like 4 or something like
Man had
that?
4 characters on the
Or
first day.
Damn.
I beat the game with 3 of them, and my 4th one, I'm close to the end on that one. I'm like at I can't beat the with that 4th one. It's like using an intelligence beige build. I can't beat the Goskin duo with him right now.
Mm.
I'm just kind of like I'm not even really trying though. If I really like, how like if you really want to be a boss, like you'll sit there and you'll tough
Yeah,
it
you'll
out.
keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done that. Like I've did like 2 attempts, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just not in the right frame of mind for this right now. So and every time I boot up Elden Ring, it's only really to help my friend out. So yeah, I
Mhm.
just haven't put the
Yeah.
time into it.
But what you're going through though is the reason I didn't buy Horizon at launch because I knew that was going to happen to me. I would drop it just like I did with the first one, 2017 when Breath of the Wild came out, I dropped Horizon.
Yeah.
It was too much. So and I warned people too. I'm like, if if you're a big Souls fan and stuff, I would not get Horizon because you're gonna just drop it. And sure enough. And look
Ooh.
at you, Slomo. You went from I'm so proud of you, Slomo. One day you're like, man, From Software is janky.
Yup.
It's this and that, and look at you now.
Look at you now,
Hey, look,
graduated.
it's not as
Love to see
janky
it.
as what was that game, that demo we played? Themiria, whatever it's
Oh,
called.
Timesia or however you say it.
Amnesia,
Yeah.
Amnesia, whatever you
Well,
want to
that's because you
call
was
it.
playing like off-brand Souls games. That's what that problem was. Stop
It was
playing.
a demo. It's a little
The
rough. They
demo.
need to
It's,
they
it's
need
a
to fix
very,
some things.
Oh, it's
very
really
rough
bad.
demo. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Ooh.
It needs some work. It needs definitely.
That's another one I played too, the demo for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forte, you playing Fortnite?
Yo, so let's talk about it, man. So
Ew.
yeah, ew. Well, let's talk about it.
First of all, you played Fortnite and you didn't tell me?
First of all, I knew
Hold on,
Slomo.
hold on.
Wait,
No,
hold on.
No. You always do this. You always play games that like we play, and you don't tell nobody. You over here playing with Doctor Strange and Catwoman, whoever the heck else is in your random party, but you don't hit up me, you don't hit up like Elder Cat, you don't hit up any of us that actually play Fortnite no build mode. It's all right.
Listen, no. Well, first of all, it was embarrassing. I was forced to play this game a couple of times, and I was like, man, I'm not playing no damn
Forced by who?
Fortnite. Xbox Obi, he forced me to. I was in a party.
How
I was in a
did
party with
blackmail
him.
you?
Listen, I was in a party with him. He was shaming me, and I was like, I'm not playing Fortnite, bro. And he shamed me into downloading the game, and I did it. and I started playing it. And I needed to play some other games.
I
So,
shame you into trying to play
but I
tons of
just
games
but I
that you
just
don't
ignore
play.
you. I ignore you though. You're easy to ignore when it comes to that.
Damn.
Wow.
You're easy to ignore.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
easy to ignore when it
That's
comes to
cold.
that.
This
Well,
is very
because you know why?
disrespectful.
Because Slow Mo supposed to have been finishing Aliens fire team with me, hasn't said anything. I done mentioned to this man multiple times, like,
Sir,
wait, no, be
sir.
quiet, be quiet.
No, don't tell me to be quiet.
When did I say
You convinced me to buy that game. I wasted money on that.
I did too?
Erica, this is what he told me. I am such a Aliens fan.
And that game was
I can't wait.
trash.
I can't wait to play this. Slow Mo, play this with me,
Oh
please.
man. Which game is
Please.
this? Which game?
Aliens, something blah
Fire
blah,
Team Elite.
fire
Fire
team
Team Elite.
Oh, the
elite,
co-op game? The
trash.
co-op
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Oh, it's
Where
trash.
they named the aliens Lucy and
Lucille.
Daisy and crap, and it's just like, what
That's
is
the name of
going
these
on?
aliens.
It's not that good. We played it one night. We streamed it.
We played for like 3 hours.
Because that's how long it took that one mission to
Yeah,
complete.
that was a long mission, bro. 'Cause it was like 5 parts to that one mission. It was crazy. But no, so what I've been playing.
By the way, congrats to you for beating those bots to
that
win.
That wasn't bots, sir. It was no.
It's your first time playing.
No, it wasn't
Forte out
bots.
here. Forte out here beating bots.
No, we don't
What's
beat.
going
No,
on?
no,
It's Fortnite, man. When you first start, you start against bots.
You do.
Yes, you
That's
do.
true.
But we
You
literally
do.
won 4 games in a row during this playthrough.
Because they were bots.
No, there's
Oh,
bots on the
Bro.
field too, but there are also people there, Slow Mo.
Yes.
That's
Out
why
of the
winning against
100
bots. I'm done.
Out of the 100, when you first start playing for like your first like 20 matches,
It
out
all
of the
depends. No,
100,
that is only if
only 25 are
no,
people.
no, listen, that's only when you're jumping in with people. You're jumping in by yourself, not when you're in the party
not
with
true.
people that are over 250
true.
level.
If one person is in the party and that person is brand new, they're gonna put you in the bot lobby, which is why a lot of veterans love to play with new people.
Okay, well, whatever. Sounds good. I have fun. I play
Forte.
Fortnite.
No, you did.
Did you
what's
take any
up? Them bots.
screenshots? You take any screenshots of those wins?
No. Why? Why would I? I didn't even want to play Fortnite. So why would I promote that? I was the only reason I'm
You
doing it
didn't
here.
post them or nothing?
No.
That would be
Oh, you
funny.
doing all the Fortnite emotes all over bots, dead bodies, and
Nope,
everything?
nope. The only reason you're seeing this gameplay right now is just to showcase that I played something other than Destiny, and I didn't capture none of my my Nintendo Switch gameplay because I was playing Triangle Strategy over the last 2 days. That game's freaking phenomenal, by the way. If
Probably better on Steam Deck, but go ahead. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, everything's gonna be better on Steam Deck. We're not gonna shame Nintendo here. You know, the system went over 107 million consoles sold. So we're not gonna play
No, that's
that
a
game.
wild number.
It's
They're consoles now.
they always been consoles and
I know it's
handhelds.
just funny how Nintendo fans tend to flip flop between when it's a console, when it's not. When it's comparing power, what's a handheld?
Wait. First of all, wait.
It's a
First,
handheld.
wait. What?
Yeah.
Who are you
And
talking
then,
about?
and
So
then
are
when,
you
and then when it comes to
equating this to
sales,
somebody?
comparing sales, well, it's a console.
Are
so
you
it's just
equating
hilarious.
this to somebody, sir? Because I never said that. I always said it was a
Oh,
console.
I see plenty of Nintendo defenders saying.
Oh,
that,
okay.
so
Well, you
it's
see,
not
talking about
just you.
other people.
It's
not
in
me.
general. It's just
Okay.
a general shot across the bow.
Just the
for
random
every-
stray just at the Nintendo fans. I'm with it.
Exactly.
I'm with it.
Thank you.
We gonna go to
She understands.
Okay, whatever. Both y'all. Whatever. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the 10%ers. Shout out to all the people that didn't try to bury me on Brap the other day because of some stuff. So you guys are still part of the 10% clan. But we got Bitchy Dies a Lot. He was up in here. We got IMAX. He was here. We got Alpha Will. Shout out to you. Spider. Shout out to you, brother. Capono's actually here early today. That's what I'm talking about. Mama, the Ashley Luca, your son. First of all, you know, Erica, you know,
Who's that?
Slow-Mo does not claim his mother. He's always
Mm.
disrespecting her like grandma.
Uh-oh.
He is always
I
disrespecting
do
his
claim
mother.
my mother.
No, you
I
Is
do
do
this
not.
claim
true?
my mother.
No, he
At
does
birth.
not
Is this
claim.
true?
He does not claim his
You know, I
internet
took
mother.
my mother to dinner last Sunday for Mother's Day. I do claim her.
But you
I
talk to
love my
your
mama.
but you talk to your internet mother more than you probably talk to your
Who's
real
that?
mother.
Who is that?
You know who it is.
I don't know. I don't
This man
understand
not
what
claiming his internet mother right
I
now.
know.
I'm
I even
confused.
gave her a shout out as an internet mom on Mother's Day and told her how influential she was to my life and everything and how she
that
made
was
me a
weird
better
too.
person.
It was really weird, man.
I know, but it's just because I love Luca and
Shlomo,
everything
did
he
you
does.
not tweet Luca that day?
I said what up. I said what up to her that day. Yeah.
What up?
That's
Yeah,
it.
what
To
up?
your mother?
To your mother.
I
What
said it
up,
was good.
mom?
What
I said it
up,
was
mom?
goody.
What up, mom?
Luca, is this true? I see Luca in the chat. Oh
Yeah,
man, I'm disappointed
yo,
right now.
she was talking to Fonz. Fonz was like, "How's your mother?" He said, "Well, Happy Mother's Day" and all this other stuff. And she was like,
Fonz did
"Yeah."
not say that to
Yeah,
her.
no, Fonz did. No, Fonz was talking to her. Then Fonz was like, she was like, "Have you talked to her?" He said, "No, they haven't even texted me yet."
Damn.
Just saying, bro. And that's what prompted me to make my
I'm
message
disappointed in
on
Fonz.
Twitter.
I'm disappointed in Fonz for playing along in this. It's silly. It's silly.
It's all fun and games, man. Luca's done a lot for us, and I really appreciate her, man. She's always going to be there to help us and see us through, and by extension, Erica, because she's grandma.
That's my daughter right there. I know. I have grandkids on here, which
I
is
know.
crazy.
You
I'm
got
a
virtual
grandma.
grandkids, and you're expecting a real kid real
I
soon.
know. I'm
Congratulations.
busy. Apparently, I'm very busy, people. So,
Right.
yeah, but no, Luca is amazing. I love Luca. She was
Absolutely.
going off today, man. I don't know if you guys caught
Oh
her
no,
stream.
yeah, I caught it.
She
Jumped
was
in there for
going off.
10 minutes. It was pretty interesting.
That was good.
Shout out to Splendiferous. Hey Forte Boo Boo. Hey Splendiferous. How you doing, boo? But
What is happening?
everything comes from the Iron Lords now. Everything, when the first time I told King, hey boo boo, everybody started doing it. So now it's like this running joke. But it's fun. It's all in fun and games. But yo, all right, so let's get into the first thing. Let's talk about, because I know everybody wants to hear about this Xbox stuff, but we gonna get there. But let's talk about Dead Space. EA came out today and they announced an actual release date, which nowadays really don't mean anything.
Was that today?
Was it today or
Yeah.
Yeah, it was today.
It was
I
today.
mean, look, it's been so much going on.
Yeah,
Like
that was today. They announced the
I
release
didn't
date
even
today.
realize. I actually said that to y'all, and I don't remember doing it. It's been
You've been
just
sending a lot
craziness.
of stuff. Yes.
Yeah. So it was January 27th, 2023. I thought
Yep.
this was supposed to be late this year, but I guess it's.
Well,
gonna
they never
make it.
gave it a date, so you can. I mean, I think that they never even gave it a window. They just said that it was coming, and everybody assumed that it was this year. But yeah, so I'll start with you, Slow-Mo.
Mhm.
Dead Space. Is this a? I mean, I know you're excited. Is this a day one buy for you?
No,
No.
me?
Yes, you.
Dead Space?
Yes.
A horror game?
I know why it's not, but I just want you to explain.
You don't like horror games?
He can't
No.
stand them. This man will hit his head on the ceiling trying to play one of them.
I
You're
am not.
scared?
Look. See that's going a little far. I'm not scared. Okay. I don't find the value in playing games where it's like the sole purpose is to make you jump, or like the music, the ambiance is all like weird and stuff. Like horror movies, no problem. I love those. I'll watch those every. I could watch a horror movie like do a marathon of horror movies the whole weekend. Playing horror games, nah, it's just not for me. So look, I think it looks amazing visually because I think they're using the Frostbite engine. The Frostbite engine is has a lot of problems, of course, when it comes to like the coding and troubleshooting for the developers, all that stuff. But visually, it looks amazing. In this game, like if you compare the way the original games look to the way this game looks, like fantastic visuals. For all of those Dead Space fans, I'm sure all you guys are super hyped and can't wait to play it, and I can't wait to watch y'all stream it. That's where I'm gonna go with. I can't wait to watch y'all stream it and enjoy me being a spectator. That's what I would say. Be a spectator, not an actual active participant. Spectator. That's my role here for that.
Okay.
I mean, it's okay to be scared. It's
Look,
it's
we don't need
okay,
to.
you know?
we don't need to use words like that, Erica. It's not scared. It's just it's not for me. It's not for
All
me.
right,
What
all right.
you a purring cat in the corner, basically? Is that what you
I
saying,
His
slow
tail,
mo?
am
tail all fluffy.
A
I
little
like
fluffy cat in the corner.
I like playing games where like I get enough weaponry and ammo to lay waste the things that are attacking me. Like I don't like playing it like for example, Outlast. Outlast gives you a camera
They give you
and hopes
nothing.
and dreams. Like that's all you
You
got.
can only run. Yeah.
That's
All you
all you
do is
can do in
run.
that
I
game is
hate games
run.
like that. I played Resident Evil 2 remake, which superior game. I freely admit I get it. Superior game to Resident Evil 3 remake, but I prefer 3 remake more because 3 remake gave me a ton of guns and ammo, and I thoroughly enjoyed playing through that, killing all them zombies and having all the ammo and guns that I could like just choose through. When I played Resident Evil 2, it's just like, okay, I got 3 bullets in this gun. I got 1 shotgun shell and in like a butter knife. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing no, I can't. So and then
God.
the freaking Mr. Z, Big Mr. Biggs, whatever his name is, chasing me around. I'm good. I'm good. So yeah. That's just kind of like I like games where I can kill everything and not like run all the time. So that's all.
You do realize that even Ripley's cat inside of the Alien movies at least hissed at the alien. So that cat actually had, a backbone. So what you're telling me is your
Oh,
backbone is non-existent when it comes to horror games.
so the cat had more of a backbone than Slow-Mo?
It did.
That's what you're saying?
I will take the slander. That's fine. All I care about is having weapons to kill things, and if I don't have it, or my weapons aren't strong enough, and it takes forever to kill things, then no, I'm not
You just
playing
got
it.
to
I'm not.
upgrade the weapon, and then that plasma cutter puts in work.
You know what? I'll watch you do that. You
I
play
will
it,
do
and
it.
I'll scream
I
it,
will
and
stream
I'll
it.
be in the chat, and I'll watch you do it.
And I'll do it on
I'll
cam
be your biggest fan.
and I'll do it on camera so you can watch me squeal and scream when stuff happens because
I
trust
don't
me,
I
it's
don't
gonna
really I don't
happen.
really need to see all that. I
Just
mean,
I'm picturing Slow-Mo right now watching your stream, Forte, and he's got like a blanket over him.
Yo,
Like
he'll be
he's like
scared
holding it to
watching
his
it.
face.
He'll be scared watching the stream, right? Uh,
He's holding a pillow and just like,
but
so
see, look, I am not alone, and although I don't know about Ramon in the chat. Ramon says control was his creepy limit. I don't think control was creepy at all. I think the atmosphere was very mysterious.
Yeah, it's kind of
And
eerie, I guess. It's kind of
yeah,
eerie.
that's a great descriptor for it. It's eerie, but I wouldn't find nothing in Control felt scary or anything like that. Plus, the the powers you had, oh, I love Control's combat. Control was see, that's what I'm saying. Like, give me the ability to just have fun destroying these things, and I'll play it. I don't care
Mm,
what setting is, I'll play it.
mm,
gotcha. So you just want some weapons, I
Yes, I
guess.
gotta have the weapons to defend
even
myself.
though there are weapons in this game, but
I was
Not
about
good
to
enough
say
weapons.
that.
Not good
there's
enough.
actually a lot of weapons in this game, by the way.
Yeah.
Look, I have watched other people play Dead Space and see them fighting some weird looking monster. I can't even describe what the heck the thing to look at, and it's just like they're shooting the thing, and it's just like, bro, like this is doing no damage whatsoever. And I'm just like, all right, you know what? Not for me.
Oh my.
For me. But no,
Man.
so Erica, are you getting this? The Dead Space remake?
Probably. I would think, yeah, probably. My issue with Dead Space and a lot of horror games is not that I'm scared. I actually want to be scared because that's good streaming games.
Yeah.
But
True.
like
True.
they tend to make me motion sick. Either because they're like
Oh,
first person, like what's the one we were just talking about with the camera? Outlast?
um, Outlast,
Outlast,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I could never play that game. Like it would make
Because
me
it's first
throw
person
up.
perspective, yeah.
Yeah, but even Dead Space, because I tried to play Dead Space 2, and something about it, like I don't know if it was the motion blur or what, but I couldn't play it. So I'm hoping the remake, eliminates that and I can play this game. I want to play it really bad. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, for sure.
Well, we know it's gonna be on PC, and
Mhm.
unlike, Square Enix, EA actually cares about their PC ports for the most part. So, I would say you probably could be able to turn off the motion blur because of
Yeah,
PC and all
to
that
feel
other
the
stuff.
view back a little bit. maybe. Yeah. So I'm with it.
Yeah. Slobo, you got a super chat.
Shout out to the Ashen Luca with the $5 super chat. She says, "Yeah, respectfully, slow mo. I could, you know what?
I
I
can
actually,
see her facial expression as she says
yeah, it's not. There's no respect in that for sure.
it.
Respectfully, slow mo. You don't know what you're talking about with this game. Laughing emoji. You had to have been watching some bums. Maybe I had. You know what? Maybe Luca. Maybe you stream the game and show me how the
Oh
game looks, and
man.
then
there
I might give it a shot. Maybe,
there
maybe.
was only one part of that game where I felt like a ghost, literally, like my spirit left my body. And it was when you walk by the hole in the wall and the little tentacle arm comes and grabs you and stuff, or it's trying to attack you. It's like I walked past that hole, I was like, man, that's a big hole in the wall. Why is that hole there? And you find out real quick why that hole was there, and it scared the crap out of me. I almost broke my control. I probably almost broke my TV because I think I threw my controller. Cause I was like, "Yo, what the heck was
Yeah.
that?" And, I mean, dog. So I'm not gonna act like I don't get scared of those games, but that's part of the experience, though. That's like, wow.
I get it.
I
You know, I
love
get it.
love
I
it.
get that's part of the experience. You know, I just it's just not for me. So that's all I'm
I
saying.
got you.
So
I got you.
I will watch you stream it. I'll watch Erica stream it. I'll watch both of you guys stream it, and I'll be right there with you. All the jump
All
scares
right.
and everything.
So
I'm not playing.
what is your limit when it comes to those type like horror games? Because you have played games that are horror but not scary. So what type of game is your limit? Is how far you would go?
I mean, I don't really. Well, okay, I brought up Resident Evil 3 remake because, like, I thoroughly enjoy playing that. Like, I played through that, right? I've never played a Dead Space game. I've never played Outlast. I've never like none of those kind of games where, especially like the grotesque ones, like that. That's just like, yeah, like I don't care that you see some of that stuff, right? Like Scorn. I'm never playing that ever. Like I
Oh, that
am
creepy
never.
alien game.
Yeah, like alien penises and stuff. Like, no, y'all can keep all of that. I will never ever play that game. That's disgusting. Like those kind of game, I don't care for. But it's it would if it's a game that has like I think, and I know a lot of Resident Evil fans disliked RE3 remake. I liked it because of why they disliked it. They disliked it because they said, "Oh, I had too much ammo. I
You
had
had a
too
lot
many
of
guns."
ammo.
And I'm like, "Sure, hey, give me the ammo and the
Not as
guns.
bad as Resident Evil
I want
6.
to kill everything that I run into." And that's what I did. I killed everything that I ran into and still had ammo left over.
So
So
the funny thing is, my daughter. I mean, it's just every time I think of you being scared of those type of games, I think of
I'm not scared.
I
Keep
think
saying
of
that?
Why do we keep saying he's scared?
because he is, because I think of my, when did PlayStation VR come out? What was it? Like 2015 or 16? Yeah, like
15?
15. And Resident
16?
Evil 7 was VR
Yeah,
capable.
I'm not playing that.
My
I ain't
daughter,
playing.
I
I'm not
always,
playing Resident Evil
I
7 in VR.
I
I
literally
refuse.
watched
No.
my daughter. I came in from work one day and she was sitting in the chair in the middle of the living room with the VR headset on, and I'm like, "What are you playing?" And I said, "Oh no." I said that's my limit right there. I'm not doing that. And she literally
Yeah,
played the whole game in VR, and I was like, So every time I think about that, I say, man, slow mo. My what at the time
that's
13-year-old
different.
daughter played
That's
Oh,
Resident
not
different.
Evil
like
in
this.
VR.
Not
Hey,
like
look, you
this.
said you're scared of it too. So she braver than both of us.
She
Look,
is, but at least
I
I'll
will
try.
freely admit it's different for VR. For VR, yeah, I'm scared. I ain't doing it. That's because it's like
That one
I
did
have a
seem creepy.
I,
Yeah.
I have a I have a Quest 2. So like that one's like, portable. Like I mean you can I think that game you can play wireless. But
I think you can.
I also have the link cable to my PC. So if I need more GPU power, I can use my PC for it too. But uh I'm not playing them kind of games on VR. I no. The Friday Night at Freddy's with the VR in VR.
Oh,
Are you
that's
serious?
got a little bit
No.
of spookiness to it too, with the like long hallways and stuff. It's kind of funny. Shout out to the Hash Luca with the $5 holler. Says Dead Space isn't even scary like the enemies be quick walking. towards you from 60 yards away.
That is true.
It is. They do. They be like, it's so funny, man. I also streamed Dead Space on Mixer, so she down, bro. And
Yeah,
then
good. I will watch Luca.
and then
There we go.
shout out to the homeboy Audible, shout out to the troubleshooter, shout out to the crew.
Hey, Audible.
Yeah, shout out.
Audible, what's up, bro?
He said, he said, bro, he was live. He said, live your truth, slow mo. I'm scared too. No shame in that. Shout out to DPS. Yo,
You know, I appreciate Audible admitting that he's scared of them games, and good for him. I'm not saying I'm scared. I'm not scared of the game.
Oh,
well,
he's
I'm
saying
not.
live your truth, though.
Live your
Yeah, you
truth.
just let
That's
it
it.
out.
I am living my truth. That's his truth, and this is my truth. We got two different truths, okay?
Oh,
so
man.
well, shout out to the. Well, I guess you're not by yourself because 24% of the other people that went anonymous in the poll said the same thing, that Dead Space scares
That
them,
they not afraid.
that they are afraid.
Oh,
76% was
so
like,
they're not like me.
no,
They're not like me.
76% isn't like you. 24% are.
I'm not afraid of no damn.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts. You running around, wouldn't even watch. Probably didn't
Shout
even,
out to Enrique with the $5 super chat. He says, "Cuts. Let's discuss the entanglements on live." What is
Oh
he
man,
Oh,
that's
man.
that's between me and you, Brap. What you
see,
you
he out
mean?
here airing DMs live on DPS. What's going on, man?
Aw.
Good grief, Enrique?
Oh my
Come
God.
on,
Okay,
man.
we're
It's
gonna
a video game podcast.
We'll
right?
talk about it. We'll discuss it behind the scenes, Brap. We'll discuss
right,
it.
exactly. All right, so moving on to the next topic, we are going to be talking about Gotham Knights and that questionable reveal that they had yesterday.
Why's
Cuts.
the K lowercase?
What you say? It is in lowercase, is it?
Oh, it is.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
lowercase. That's a good question. You know what? It's still spelled correctly, so you can't use it against me. But but
I mean, for one,
It's like
yeah.
Gotham Knights.
Knights.
That's what it is.
Knights.
Well, shoot, something in that name needs to be lowercase compared to what we saw. But Cuts, I'm gonna go to you first. You said you checked it out. Tell me, what was your first impressions of when you saw this game?
I did. Okay, so I saw it yesterday, and I think they showed it the day before, right?
Mhm.
Something like that. So I was a little bit late. So before that, I had been seeing tweets of people disappointed and saying it looks horrible, like the Arkham games look better on last gen and stuff like that. So I went into it knowing people were trashing on it. And so maybe my expectations were really low because of that. I don't know. But it didn't seem that bad to me. Like I want to play this game, but I'm just more disappointed about not having 4-player co-op. Because I really thought it was going to be 4-player. So it being 2 is like, okay, well, at least it's something. It looks cool to work together. And I was waiting during the gameplay to see some combos. Like, okay, I want to see the one person do something and then the second person, follows up with something. And they kind of did that. But I felt like the combat could be a little bit more fluid. Like it's weird. I felt like Red Hood's combat was not as fluid as Robin. So I was kind of like, I don't know if it was just his style of gameplay or the person playing it, but I was kind of hoping for just some really fluid co-op combos and stuff like that. I think it could be there, like there's potential. But it wasn't as bad as I thought, but it wasn't anything amazing either. I was kind of in the middle, like, it doesn't look that bad. I'll check it out, kind of thing. That's what I walked away with. Like, yeah, I'll check it out. It's not too bad.
All right. Well, Slumbo. Well, first of all, Slumbo, I fixed the K. I gave the game its respect and gave it an uppercase K. So, Slumbo, good for me. Yeah. Yay, Forte.
Oh my.
Tell me.
Looking at this combat, man. Is Nightwing ice skating on the rooftop?
Let's go, Slowmo. Let's go. Give me that energy.
Because I mean, where is the weight of this man?
Oh
like
my
this
God.
is
He was really light, like feathery. He was very light.
I mean, come on, man. That looks so. Look. I understand, and I shout out to a couple of people, whose gaming taste I really respect on Twitter. Was like, well, look, that's how the previous Arkham games were, and look, I've played all of them except for Origins. Maybe it's been a while. Maybe I just didn't remember that Batman was that floaty as well. But I just think that, I know this is Idols Montreal and it's not
It's
wait, I said Idols
Rocksteady.
Montreal.
yeah,
I'm
I just
sorry,
want you.
WB
Yeah,
WB Montreal and not
not
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady.
But they're
Hmm.
using the same game design. They're using all the same assets that Rocksteady has used. I just would have wished that this stuff would have evolved since the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing Nightwing like slipping and sliding across this rooftop, like where's the motion mapping? And I did a live stream earlier this week, and some people in the chat didn't quite understand what mapping was, and so I actually went and like found a YouTube video that actually like really explained it, showed it to him. And like motion mapping is when you have AI in it's like an aspect of your game engine that actually, while you have characters running around, they realistically their feet touch the pavement or the ground or the floor realistically. And even when you turn and your character leans into a turn as is running, you see their feet realistically make those touches too. It's glaring when you see games don't have that done correctly, and I don't see it done correctly in this game. And considering that they no longer are putting this game on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, I would
Hmm.
think that now you will want to actually make this more like a next gen experience, and not having good motion mapping is the things that were very much a thing of last generation. And so just that, and with Red Hood shooting his dual BB pistols at people, like I mean,
It was kind
like
of clunky. I felt like the gunplay. It
yeah,
seemed a little clunky.
I'm looking at it now, and it's like, first of all, like, why is he so big? Like, this, like, you had Red Hood in the previous Arkham game looking like Red Hood, like he looked accurately, and it's just like now in here he looked like he's hyped up on HGH, and I don't know what's going on. Like I mean, even he's punching with the pistols. Like, why? Like, just it's. I get from a story perspective why he might be using that. It just seems like a weird move for them to go to for this game. And it's like it's not a like hard pass for me or anything. I'm just kind of on the fence with it right now. But we'll see what happens, because I think some of this stuff can be cleaned up before launch. It's coming out later this year. But yeah.
October, right? I think the
Oof.
25th or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, something like that.
Halloween game, I
Yeah.
guess.
Mm-hmm. No, that
Yeah.
and that motion mapping looked like it came from Halloween. Looked like it was. It looked like like something that was left over from last gen. Like Slomo just said, it might have been the gen before that. Because let's be for real. I saw this. I was excited. I was one of the people that was excited to play this. And then I
Mhm.
saw it, and I instantly like went down 4 pegs. I was like, this just doesn't look like. I like the look and the aesthetic, but
Oh yeah, it looks nice
yeah, it looks really
visually.
nice. Visually, it looks
Although
nice.
I
although
think it did too.
the first reveal looked better than this.
Oh yeah, it did.
So that tells me that this is actually, like, when they first showed the game, it was running on a PC,
Mm-hmm.
and they had not done any kind of scaling of like maybe lowering texture detail, or taking things out of the environment to make sure it fits within bandwidth parameters and memory parameters towards the consoles. They hadn't done any of that stuff yet. Now you see like where it's looking now, it looks okay. It looks good. It just doesn't look as good as it first did. And so now I expect it to look very much close to this when it comes to launch, instead of the way it did before.
I felt like I was watching RoboCop with his stiff self run around these environments. It was like there was like no freedom of motion, and that's something that you kind of you would expect another generation of that to basically improve on it, because when we played like the Arkham games, it's like your freedom of motion, it just felt really good and natural back then, and it just seems like everything is still stuck from the last time that Rocksteady made a Batman game, and we see drastic improvements in animation and emotion and everything, and it was like I said, it doesn't look horrible, but it was like, as I was like watching it and capturing the gameplay, I was like, this just doesn't seem right. Like it seems like it definitely needs a little bit more time in order to you know, patch out a little bit of the stuff that's going in, maybe add some more frames to their movement. I don't know.
Mhm.
But in general, the game, I I'm still interested in it due to the setting because I am a huge DC fan when it comes to these type of game stuff. Really, really love the Arkham game, so I definitely want to give it a try. But this gameplay really didn't do it for me. But then again, we also had games like Guardian of the Galaxy when we saw it the first time, it was like, oh, this game's gonna be absolute
Yeah,
trash, and we got a
that's
chance to
true.
play it, and it's like, oh, this is actually really good. So hopefully, the one thing I always try to tell people about stuff like this, even knowing it looks bad, like the way that it moves, you really can't judge that until you get the controller in your hand. And then
You gotta feel it.
once you feel it, then you can kind of make that decision. So
That's
uh,
very true.
it's definitely
That's
not a
very true.
it's definitely not a game that I'm probably gonna get day one. Well, I don't know now that one of our upcoming topics had games that were delayed out of this year, so it might have a nice little run during the holidays. But I think that's where I sit on it. But what were you about to say, Slomo?
I was to say shout out to them taking inspiration from Fortnite with the Fortnite glider for Nightwing.
Mm-hmm.
Not
That was
Breath of the
very
Wild? Not a Breath of the Wild reference.
nah. I'm tired of Breath of the Wild being
It's
considered
refreshing.
the uh the the uh the Ten Commandments of gaming. It's like Breath of the Wild was made on like stone tablets and everything is just derives from Breath of the Wild.
You
Like
know it.
like that
Mhm.
game is nah daggone thing in Breath of the Wild is original. But it's
You know,
just
it created all of these tropes and everything we see today.
Yep,
Slow
it
everything.
apparently, right?
it was
No,
the
but no,
it was the godfather of all of them.
but I thought what I thought was weird is what in the world is Red Hood doing to traverse rooftops? What is this like? He's like flipping, and then there's like some energy that he steps on, and then he flips for like what is that? Like that doesn't even make any sense. It's supposed to be from the Lazarus pit or something. Like it just
They're channeling their inner crackdown.
Yeah. This the
yeah.
crackdown we deserve?
Oh,
Oh, man.
you gotta go get gotta go get
I
those
don't know if you guys
orbs.
noticed a part though. It stood out to me when I was watching it when Red Hood was fighting. It was like towards the end, I think, one of
Mm-hmm.
the last encounters, and they ran up to the enemy and just kind of like stood there once they hit the enemy's body, and then they input an attack. And to me, it just felt like I don't know. It seemed clunky to me. I'm like, well, why is he taking so long to input an attack? Is it slow, or is
Mm-hmm.
this player just not knowing what to do? Or it looked weird to me
Mm-hmm.
at times. Like sometimes it was real fluid, and then other times it was like stalling and not fluid.
Mm, that's
And that
interesting.
was just it was jarring to me. I guess I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, and granted, it's like it's not finished yet, so like there's definitely things that can be tightened up and fixed up before launch, and hopefully that is the case. Because
Mhm.
this was the game when I first saw it. I was like, yeah, I'm down for this. I'm definitely gonna play this. That one and Suicide Squad, but
Mm-hmm.
like I just this gameplay did not leave a great taste in my mouth. So hopefully like the final product looks better before launch.
Aesthetics definitely look good though, like the owls and all that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching
Oh
it right
yeah.
now.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the stealth parts and looking down at the area, and it looks cool. Like, I think it looks cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely looks cool. So last thing, by day one, wait till later. Super excited to still get it. Erica, what you think?
Well, okay, October 25th. If God of War is delayed or it's not around that
Oh, it
time,
definitely
and
won't
there's
be.
yeah, I'm
It
thinking
will
there
be.
might not be any big bangers for
I'm
me, so
trying
I'd
trying to
probably
tell
get a
you.
day one just based on that. Like if it does come out on time and nothing else is out, I
Mhm.
mean, why not, you know?
I gotta
But
follow.
I'm also gonna be kind of busy,
Oh yeah, you definitely
you
gonna
know?
be
So
busy. You're gonna be getting a
so I
lot of.
mean, who knows?
You're gonna be trying to sleep as much as you can.
Right,
I already
right.
know.
I'm gonna be a new mom and probably really tired. So who knows? I
Facts.
can't really promise anything,
No, that's
but
cool.
I'm interested though.
Slow
Man,
mo.
is somebody playing this game with their toes? Like, why is Red Hood missing
That's
every
what I'm
parry and dodge?
saying.
What is
They're
happening?
missing dodges. That's what I'm saying. It's not as fluid as they could have showed it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
like I can't believe they showed this. Like, this is like first take. Like the guy playing the game
He
is
said
just
this
like I
good enough.
literally have never played this game before,
Mm-hmm.
and they just say, "You know what? Good. We don't have time here." Just like
See how he just kind of stops for a second and then he does a move?
yeah.
It's like he's hesitant or something. They don't know how to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you would think that they would have had like you're going to show this to potential customers. Like you would want it to look like the way like an expert's playing it because this is the way that you will want the actual players to eventually get to the point where they play the game. When you have someone playing it and they're bad at it, like you're not showing people the potential of the combat, and
Right.
that's unfortunate
Right.
for them. For me, it's a wait and see. I'm not. It's not a day one cop for me, but it could be. You know, if I see something between now and October that shows that things have improved or it looks better.
Okay. Yeah. For me, yeah. The closer we get to this, I'll make a decision. But I'm still interested. It just really comes down to if God like I'm with Erica. If God of War does come out this year, then that's kind of where I'm going to be at. But outside of that, it's kind of a maybe. But I do want to add on to that. You know, Erica, what
Mhm.
Slow-mo believes that game, no matter what, just because the developer came out and said, "Oh, the game is coming out this year."
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. A developer came out on his Twitter account and did like, "Oh, my daughter's playing the game right now." Well, and I can't show you, so I'll show you what she's playing. That's an older game.
His daughter.
His daughter. So he really believes that this developer is like telling the truth. Like he's going for a hook, line, and sinker. Do you tell this man why? And like you said, you're not saying it is not coming, but why do you think it isn't coming this year?
Uh, I mean, I feel like just because the year we're in, I mean, we're seeing so many delays, we can't really be for sure. And it's like Breath of the Wild got delayed. Like, I just figure it's very possible it could get delayed. And didn't they come out saying, oh, it's for sure coming out this day? That got delayed.
They
I mean,
delayed that
developers say that
twice.
sometimes.
It
And
wasn't
it,
for Cyberpunk.
yeah.
Wasn't that was the official Cyberpunk account, and they had already released the release date at
Mm-hmm.
that time.
Right, right. True,
Now,
true.
God, like no one from saying Sony Santa Monica has given a release date for this God of War yet, and this was a dev who like isn't hooked into marketing or PR or whatever, and he's just kind of like
Mhm.
someone asked him a question, and he was like, they were like, "I'm hearing this game's not going to make it this year," and he said, "No, it's coming out this year." It was a very matter of fact kind of thing, one
Yeah.
sentence tweet. He wasn't like trying to cap or trying to market it or anything. It's not his job. I think the guy was like a character artist or something like that. So
Right.
like
I
he's
heard about that. I also heard, I don't know if it's the same guy or someone else, but there was like somebody who left to go do something else. And they were like, "Oh, yeah, I'm done with God of War because it's done," kind of thing.
right.
So
I
I
did see
feel
that too
like
as well.
I've
Yeah.
heard that. Like it seems just based on that, yeah, there's reason to believe it is coming. I hope it is, but
I do too.
at the same time, it's like it's 2022. I mean, we're in the season of delays. It's nonstop. So I mean, I don't know, and they haven't showed anything yet. It's kinda E3 season, even though E3's dead right now, but
Mhm.
coming up as far as maybe state of plays and things like that, like, they could easily just come out and show the game and boom, there's a release date. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
I think
know, but to trust one developer, I mean, I see what you're saying, Forte, like, yeah, they could just be saying that, but, I see where Slow-Mo's coming from
Yeah,
too,
I see where he's
I
coming
guess.
from. I just,
Yeah.
I don't know. Me and Slow Mo are very, very opposed to each other, and we literally
Oh, I noticed.
stand on our square very, very firmly when it comes to the things we believe in, to the detriment of our health sometimes. And I'll definitely admit that. But he knows where I stand
That's
on
what
it.
makes you guys good, you have a difference of opinions and then you don't agree all the time because that gets boring. So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
is true.
We
That is
we
true.
we appreciate that. So moving
Mhm.
on to the next topic, let's talk about
I mean,
Sony.
it would help sometimes if Forte was actually right
Oh
sometimes, but
Lord. Okay. Well,
anyway, go
well,
ahead, go
you
ahead,
know,
go ahead,
you
go
know
ahead.
what? I
He's
do.
always wrong.
You know what? I do call myself.
99%
Well,
of the
I
time,
do
yeah.
remember not even 24 hours ago, I was on Addict's show, and he asked me what I thought was going to be at E3, and I said, "Well, Redfall will be there, but that game's about to get delayed to early 2023 because they haven't shown anything. And lo and behold, not even 24 hours later, Redfall got delayed. But we're gonna move on to the next topic. But
Okay, but weren't you also arguing on this podcast
about what?
last week
About what?
that Horizon Forbidden West would not get nominated for Game
And
of
why
the Year
won't
because
you?
that's
And
the
why?
slot
And
that's
wait,
going to
wait,
go
and
to
why?
Starfield?
And why did I say that?
Because you were thinking Starfield was coming out.
You did too.
That's why he said that.
You did
That's
too.
not the
No, no,
point.
no, no.
I'm not out here
So
bragging about.
give all of the information, sir. If you're going to
I'm
give,
not out here
try to
bragging,
critique
saying,
people.
claiming I got, hey, I got it right. So
I
so
also
we'll get
said,
delayed.
if Breath of the Wild came out, it would have been a done deal for everything. Even Elden Ring would have lost.
Can we get back to the top? Let's get
But
back to the
okay,
topic.
so some.
Oh, you're one of those.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So Sony is set to invest. Well, they haven't even set to. They already did this. Invest $308 million into first party, not just first party, towards the development of multi-platform games from first party. Now, of course, they didn't say what multi-platform means. We can all just kind of guess what that kind of means.
It's PC.
Master Race.
We can definitely
PC,
guess what this
PC,
means.
man.
So we know this is definitely PC. It's definitely not Xbox. They ain't going that route yet. But we know it's PC. So the question is to the panel: how far away do you think we are from day and date on PC when it comes to PlayStation games? Because Jim Ryan out here getting real spicy with his takes when it comes to how much money, if they're willing to put this much money into it just for the multi-platform creation of these games, how long are they really willing to let games just sit on the PlayStation platform before they go somewhere else like PC? Slow-mo,
good question.
Slow-mo, the floor is yours.
Okay.
Go for it.
I do not think that they will ever go all in on day and date on PC. What I do think they're going to do is that certain titles will be day and date on PC, and these will be titles that are more than likely not the single player ones. So that they're working on like 10 live action games, and they are working on like multiplayer experiences. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all when they finally show Factions 2. That Factions 2 is revealed to be a PS5 and PC platform game. I think that they will want to have those kind of experiences where like the bigger benefit for those kind of games is having a community of players consistently playing the game. And if you are adding additional platforms to that, then you're going to have a higher probability of making sure that you got a lot of people playing the game. Also, some of the drawbacks to trying to accommodate multiple platforms, and then you got like older PCs where like kind of you want to make sure that as many people as possible can play the game, but you got to deal with people who have older hardware. Is that if you try to be really innovative with like what you're doing, or uh putting in a lot of different new techniques or game designs that might not be the performance might not be that great on older hardware, then you're probably going to want to wait for those for like kind of stagger the release of that, like focus on the PS5 version and then put a bigger, grander, with all kinds of bells and whistles features and all that great stuff on PC later on. I can see that happening more for single player games than multiplayer experiences, where we are more than likely not to get all that kind of stuff in there anyway. When people play a multiplayer game, they don't care about ray tracing. They don't care about any of the other crap. They care about frame rate. I want a high frame rate. I want it to perform great. And I want there to be a population of people where it's easy to get in and out of matches. That's what I'm looking for. And so I think that you could get a lot of that. It will make a lot of sense to make sure that they are got like crossplay working between PS5 and PC, and you'll see those games day and date on there.
Okay. I could see that. Yeah, the multiplayer stuff, the factions.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot of money. And I guess Forte, you're asking, yeah, how soon could we see this? Because they probably want that return on investment, right? They want
because we already
money
know
back.
we know they're getting the money. We know the games are coming to PC, but the question is, how long are
When?
they willing to let that money just sit there in that development before they do it?
Mm. I think it's coming at some point. I just don't know when. It could be 5 years, it could be 3
Right.
years. because it seems like the windows for certain games, like, when Horizon came to PC, like that window was, uh, getting shorter than maybe the games that came before it, as far as from going from PlayStation to PC, the years in between, I think are getting shorter. And we've kind of
Hmm.
seen that. So, but how short though, and how long is it going to take to be day and date? I don't know, man. I'm still waiting for like Returnal to get there. God of War's there now, and that took what, 5 years?
The five,
No,
four.
4.
What?
2018. Yeah.
Yeah, 28.
Yeah,
Yeah, 4 years. 4 years.
Yeah, I'm tripping. So,
No, you're not.
I mean, but the second game, maybe it'll be 2 years,
Right.
1 year. You know what I mean? So like the windows are kind of closing in,
yeah.
and Jim Ryan's all about it.
Wasn't Days Gone sooner? Because didn't Days Gone come out in like
Yeah,
2019,
Yeah.
and then that came out like that was like a 2 year
Like a 2-year
difference. So
window.
right.
yeah,
And I'm sure porting it and doing all the things is gonna play a part, of course, between games. No game is the same, but we've clearly seen like the windows are getting shorter. So I feel like it eventually at some point they're gonna have to, because the climate. I mean, PC is so big and so popular, and everybody's, not everybody, but more people are getting on PC, even though it's very difficult right now. But it's growing and growing. So I just feel like they're gonna have to adapt at some point and
hmm
make their money. Because I mean, why not? The thing is though that, yeah, I do agree that, if you do look at it and think, well, they should have it on PlayStation first, because then
Right.
people will double dip, and then they'll make more money later, and they double dip or whatever. It makes sense to wait, but then at the same time, that money is just there, just waiting. So I don't know. I don't know.
true. That's true.
So,
All their games have sold very well on PC, especially for
Yeah.
older games.
hmm
And compared to other PC releases, they've done well. Like there's a God of War, like
I
the
forget how much it
pre-orders were like
sold.
ridiculous. Like the
hmm
pre-orders for God of War were like off the chain. So yeah, I could definitely see that too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. So I'm with you, Erica. It's going to happen. We just don't know when. But the question really comes down to how long are they going to keep up with this dual console production for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5? Because right now they're still making these games on both systems. And we know how strenuous that is when it comes to development, how people, we've been talking about the Xbox Series X and the S and it being held back by that. And people at a certain point are going to want these games just to be produced and made only on a PS5. But due to all of the, circumstances and stuff that we're hearing, PlayStation 5 availability is going to be dog crap for the next year and a half, it seems like, almost. And we don't even know if that's even going to fix the problem in the next year and a half. So once they start migrating their games to PS5 only, that's when I think you're going to see a stronger push for games to get closer to PC releases with PlayStation 5. Because at that point, if they still have a situation with system launches and being able to get them out in the ecosystem, then where are they going to make up the extra money? Like you say, they are going to double dip. People will do that no matter what, because PC gamers will just wait for games to come to PC, or if they happen to have a
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 5, they'll just buy it over there and just get the better frame rates when the game does come there. But at a certain point, you have to kind of do something to subsidize the business model that you have, because not only are they spending $308 million on the development of these games to be made on multiple platforms, they really don't have the infrastructure with the system being in place with the PS5 to really take advantage of as many people need to buy these games to make them profitable too. So I kind of think, in a way, it's like a two-pronged problem for them. They already talked about how they wanted to migrate as many people over to PS5 as possible. We already see that's not happening. We're seeing that, supply and demand. I mean, supply is definitely outshadowing the demand of these systems and stuff. I mean, not outshadowing, it's underperforming compared to the demand of these systems. And at a certain point, what game is it going to be that they just say we can't take the risk? I see that game being in the next 2
They've
to 3
already
years.
did that. because Gran Turismo 7 initially was announced as a
Well, it's
exclusive for
PS5 only,
PlayStation
but
5,
yeah,
and then they changed that and they put it on PS4 as well, as they started to see that like supply were
and
look
that yeah.
that I agree with you. That's already a problem for them, and
Well,
I
and that's
think
why I was saying
you're not going to stop. You're not going to start getting games exclusively just for PS5 until they can start to actually get the supply issues under wraps.
well,
Because
that's what I was
they've
saying
had
though.
to
Yeah.
lower their projections this year because they missed sales marks. It's not because PlayStation 5s are sitting on shelves. It's because
They're
they're not
not.
touching
They're
shelves.
not even
They
touching
get to the
shelves.
You
shelf.
can't get one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what the question is? So we got games like shout out to Capono. He talks about fingers crossed that Spider-Man 2 is PS5 only. When do we think that
I
game's
think
coming
that
out?
is.
When do we
I
think that
think
game's coming out?
I don't think that game's coming out for another 2
Okay,
years.
so Miles Morales was what, last year, and then you had, or 2 years ago,
Well, Miles Morales was
About a year and a
add-on.
half.
year and a half.
Yeah, Miles
Yeah, and
Morales
then
was a big a huge DLC that they added to the game that has a standalone feature to it, which is
are you
great.
calling it DLC?
No,
You're gonna
they
trigger
called it.
No,
people
you did
right now.
not do
No,
that.
they
No, you
called
did
it.
not
They
do
called
that.
it DLC at first.
They did not
Gonna
call that
trigger
game
people
DLC.
They
right
called
now.
it DLC at first. I didn't call
Forte,
it that.
they did not call
I'm just
Miles
listen.
Morales
I'm just
DLC.
I just
You
wanted
you
I
you
just
you
wanted
showing
to
your bot colors right now.
I just wanted to throw the word DLC because I thought it would be funny and I knew you would say something to me about it.
Yeah.
All right, bot.
No,
All
listen,
right.
no, but
As the God of War gameplay's plain
well,
too,
the
man,
Disrespect.
you're gonna trigger people.
greatest PlayStation game ever made, God of War. Greatest game ever made for PlayStation right there. But no, but the biggest thing is what Spider-Man 2018, then you had Miles Morales last year, or actually
And
the year before.
Insomniac,
And
they're
then it's
working on other games
Year and
too.
a
and they're
half.
working on a bunch of
You
games
got
too.
Wolverine too.
So what do we
Mhm.
think? Do we think 2024? I don't think it's next year. Do we think 2024?
No, maybe at the earliest.
Because so if they now I agree if this turns around for PlayStation when it comes to their supply and demand, then yeah, that game will be PS5 only. I think it's gonna be PS5 only no matter what. But at a certain point, when do they make a decision to say we have to release this on PC if if the supply isn't there for the system still? Having if they only got 30 million systems, like right now they're at 19 million.
Yeah.
They've been averaging about the first year they hit 12. They hit 12 in the first year. You know, they only sold 7 to 8 over the last year and a half basically.
Yes,
So
supply has gotten worse.
it's gotten even worse.
Bad, yeah.
So what's the thoughts of
the
them
thing
actually
is
hitting
that
that number
like
though?
the thing is like PC's GPU issues have started to level out. If you notice, like you can go to Best Buy and
Mhm.
see a number of GPUs available right now. And the pricing is starting to lower more towards MSRP. So the PC market is starting to level out. I know the way that Microsoft and Sony do get the systems made, like would they get their wafers from AMD in order to get the APUs and built and then delivered to them so they can make the systems. They do it
Yeah.
in bulk orders. So we won't really know if supply gets better until like later this year. Then when they're doing another order to build more systems,
Right.
if AMD and TMSC, who actually makes the chips for AMD, can actually increase capacity. If they can increase capacity, then it's like, all right, let's do it. Then they're going to be like, maybe next year they'll be like, okay, we can stop supporting on first party the PS4 at that point.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Mhm.
So finishing out this topic, whenever that day does come, are we basically ditching the PlayStation brand and playing everything on PC at that point? Erica,
Ooh.
are we? I mean, when that day comes, I mean, like, granted,
I hope so.
yeah, when that day comes, because
They're
granted, I don't
ported,
think,
right?
yeah, like I don't think every game's gonna do it. I think it's gonna be they're gonna pick and choose the games, but we're just throwing hypotheses out there at this point. When the moment happens that all of their games are basically like Microsoft and they launch on PC day and date, whenever that future is, 15 years from now, we're still playing video games with our old grandma and granddad hands. Are we dropping our PlayStation 5s to play just on PC at that point? What about what you say, Erica?
There's some factors. Okay, so if it comes to Steam, yes. Most
Oh,
likely. I'm gonna be
yes.
on PC day one. Like if it's Returnal Part 2 or you know what I mean? What else? Like Spider-Man 2, whatever game. Yes. But if it's gonna be like they do some kind of app that mimics like an Xbox app and it's like terrible and they're not ported great and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
then I'd probably just go with console because console for me, I mean, I always say this as kind of like a meme or a joke, like it just works. Like they don't have they don't have those PC issues that sometimes I come across. Even when I am like blessed to review a game, even if it's an indie game and I have the choice between like console and PC, sometimes I take the console because I figure it's gonna work there. I'm not gonna have no issues. So that's always in the back of my mind, like, yeah, PC sometimes just, has issues or whatever. But if it's like seamless and it comes out nice and it's working, I'm firing up my PC. Especially if it's like a Spider-Man or something with that needs good frames and it looks beautiful. Yeah, I probably won't need a PlayStation at that point if everything was like day and date.
Man, I remember
Which it's gonna be years till then, but
right. I remember when Erica used to just live and die by that PlayStation. Now she
I used to say console master race, and I used to, because like the previous podcasts and stuff, like I used to fight with Alex, and that was just kind of our thing. Like I don't need no 60 frames, and it was kind of a joke at that point, but it is what it is. Like once you see it, and really what did it for me was playing Gears 5 on PC, and that just kind of changed everything. I had my 1440p monitor, and it was a wrap after that. I was like, this is amazing.
Who did that for you, Eric? Because you know what? If you were forced to go out and buy an Xbox to play Gears of War, you would have did it because you love Gears of War. You would have bought a console. But the fact that they gave it to you on PC converted you over to a lifetime PC convert, which is amazing. So shout out,
options,
to you.
right? Can't hate on options. So right. I'm all for it.
Shout out to Ashley Luke with the $2 super chat, says that's right, Forte Xbox. Yeah, Xbox is right now, they're not the best box because they ain't even got games on their box right now. They got an empty shelf sitting at Walmart with nothing next to it. Slow-mo, what about you?
Well, I already said I don't think they'll ever go like completely
if they
all
do.
games.
If they
do, of course, like I'm gonna be on PC for everything. Like I will sell the PS5 immediately. So it's like
faster than you sold your Switch.
Yeah, well, probably faster because of demand, sure. But I don't think it will happen. But like, yeah. If that's the case, yeah. Like, why would I buy own a console that has less performance than my PC for the same games? Especially if I can play those games with the people that if I'm playing multiplayer games and I'm playing with people that are on PlayStation 5s and I'm on PC. Yeah, I'm down for that. I do think that I think it's a little bit people aren't recognizing that PC isn't as troubleshoot heavy as people think it is, and consoles aren't as ease of use as they used to be. Like we just went through a weekend of people not being able to play Xbox
It does
games.
have issues these days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout
That's
out
true.
to Outriders not letting people on Xbox play the game for a
Oh,
full
that
month.
was crazy. I
And
remember
then
that.
deleting
Yeah.
everybody's stuff in the process.
Yeah, like this whole hey, it just works. It just don't. Like, it don't
That's
just
what makes
work all
it
the
funny.
time.
That's what makes it funny because it's funny because I would say that on my stream and stuff and just joke around. Next thing I know, freaking, I think it was Halo or something was not working on my console. I
Yeah.
was like, I jinxed it. So yeah, it has problems for sure. It's that thing of like when technology gets better and better, more problems comes with it. It's that thing that just happens.
Yeah, I agree. So, Moving on to the main, we had to put the main event in the middle of the show because I think people would have rebelled if I would have put it at the end. Like, you ain't gonna make us wait all the way to the end of the show to get to the thing that was inside of your thumbnail, which is like everything Xbox at this point. But let's talk about it.
Clickbait.
Straight up clickbait. We made y'all wait, and thanks to the 62 of you guys that are still here, 63 now. I will take a vote. I will take a bet that we will hit at least 75 during this conversation, because for some reason, as soon as you start talking about Xbox, everybody starts coming in. So
who cares how many people come in? Get to the topic, man.
Shout out to you, Slow-Mo.
Doing all this preamble. Let's go.
Listen, man. Listen, you know me. I'm all about setting
You're
the
watching
stage.
the numbers. Yeah,
watching numbers, setting the stage. So Xbox and Bethesda have officially come out today and delayed Starfield and Redfall to the first half of 2023. First question is, are you shocked? And how disappointing is this for you when it comes to the offerings of Xbox for the rest of this year? Erica, let me go to you first.
So shocked, so surprised. Yes, no, not really. Honestly, I haven't been following Starfield or the other game much at all. Redfall, yeah, I really have not been following it too much. I just knew there wasn't any gameplay showed, and a lot of people were claiming, "Oh, it's going to be Game of the Year." I had people tell me that in like Elden Ring threads on Twitter, because people would be saying Elden Ring's getting Game of the Year, right? And people would come in like, "Nah, Starfield's going to take it. Watch out for
like
Starfield."
last week.
Watch out for Starfield. It's still coming out. Don't say anything yet, too soon. And meanwhile, Elden Ring is out and we're playing it, right? So it was always kind of silly hearing that, and I was just like, whatever. And then so when I woke up today and I saw the news, dude, I swear today on Twitter was priceless.
Yeah,
I have not laughed this much in a minute. I've been literally laughing all day because of other people's tweets, Luca's stream, and then the tweets I was putting out. I actually had some people upset with me because they're saying that I'm making fun of people's sadness. They said making fun of people's sadness, and I should go touch grass. I got my first touch grass today.
Oh wow.
I was like, oh shoot, this is something. So I've just been having a ball. I think because it's not surprising, and I just feel like you guys didn't really see much. You were claiming it's going to be Game of the Year. You're putting all your hopes and dreams on this one game from Bethesda, who is trademarked or called Bugthesda. And it's like, you really, I just always thought it was funny how just so much hope was placed on this game, like this one game. So I'm not making fun of people for being disappointed. I understand if they're disappointed, but I feel like we shouldn't be shocked, really, with the year we're in and the fact that we haven't seen much. I mean, the writing was on the wall, so it is what it is. I mean, maybe God of War is next, and then you can make fun of them. Xbox fans, don't worry about it. It'll be all right.
I will cry when that happens.
I mean, it is what it is. Breath of the Wild got delayed. I mean, that was easy to call, and I felt like this one was just as easy. Like, it's not surprising to me.
Yeah, disappointing. Slow-Mo, go ahead and tell everybody how you were right, how this game, they never told you what this game was. They couldn't even show you in any format of video. Tell everybody why how you felt about this game being delayed, sir.
I'm not going to tell everybody I was right. I said, I admitted it earlier. I was wrong about, I was one of the people that was like, I think Starfield is coming out this year because this is how Bethesda markets their internal studio games. And it has been. Their last two internal studio games have been shown this way, where they don't show you anything. They don't talk about it at all. And then bam, out of nowhere, it's like at E3, here's the game. Here's a huge blowout of it. It's coming out in 4 months. That's how they normally go about it, and that's what I expected. I think that's what they wanted to do. But and again, before I get into the rest of this, delays are good in themselves. Like in a vacuum, it's better for the game that it's delayed, because if the game's not ready, if it's unfinished, it's Halo Infinite. And there were some people out there who don't want to admit that they were this person, but they fought hard against and said a lot of derogatory negative things about people who asked for Halo Infinite to be delayed. And they don't play that game. They barely played it at launch. They were victims. They got victimized in PvP, and they stopped playing the game. And all they cared about was console wars. They're saying, "Ooh, look what we got, another game in the
Yeah.
holiday," and PlayStation don't got nothing. But look at you now. Like
Mm.
it's like you can't play that game and think that it's not going to flip back on you at some point. None of that stuff is important. What should be important is whether the game is good at launch. And
Yep.
I'm not a Starfield fan. I don't like Bethesda's internal don't I like Western RPGs. I don't like their style of Western RPGs. I actually prefer Obsidian's better than Bethesda's. But that said, for the Bethesda fans, like all of y'all should be happy that especially after a week ago when a previous Bethesda employee comes out and says the engine's trash, the flying sucks, the engine has issues, they're not ready, they're really if they're going to make it at launch, they're going to have to cut content to do that. Like them delaying it to next year sounds like a great idea when you get that kind of feedback from an actual developer who worked on the game. So all that said, what's going on here? What really? Okay, well, let me get to Redfall. I did think Redfall would get delayed because they haven't shown us anything whatsoever from that brand new IP, and
Mhm.
I did think that would get delayed. Although I thought it was gonna get delayed to like later this year and not 2023. Regardless, it wasn't surprising me if Redfall got another delay next year as well. But all that said, we got to really address this issue with Xbox first party. And this isn't necessarily Bethesda's fault because Bethesda does their own publishing and management of themselves. So this isn't a Bethesda issue because as far as goes, they published Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo recently. It's not their fault those games didn't hit Xbox. So it's not none of this stuff is really their fault. This is the fault of Matt Booty, and this is the fault of Xbox leadership and Xbox first party that can't deliver games in a consistent fashion. How is it
Mhm.
that last generation we talked about how dry first party was for Xbox, and they had 5 studios, but they at least were able to release a published Xbox first party game once a year.
Mhm.
We are in 2022, 26 studios, and you
Yeah.
can't release one?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy when you put it like that. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, how do you 5 times as many studios but less games make it make sense? Like it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We everything that we hear that comes out in all these investigative reports internally from the studios is not like, of course, like game development's hard and not everything is going to be flowers and sunshine. But geez, it's like all kinds of chaos going on. The initiative ain't even really a studio like that no more. Crystal Dynamics is now taking over development basically of the Perfect Dark remake.
Yeah,
That game
true.
was in is in pre-production for 3 years? What?
Yeah.
Fable has been in development for 5 years.
Probably
I was about to
longer.
mention Fable. Yeah.
Like, what is happening here? Compulsion has been working on the game for 3.5 years. They still haven't even gave us a teaser trailer. State of Decay 3 in pre-production for forever. Like, it's just where the game's at, bro. And it's like and I see people trying to damage control it on Twitter. Hey, it's just delays. I thought delays were good. They are good. But we're talking about the platform. It's two different things. And the platform can't have every daggone game get delayed 3 or 4 times before it finally comes out. Come on. Like that doesn't make sense. And then people are like, well, look, 2023 looking stacked. how many times you gonna hear this? How many
Wait,
times you
wait
gonna
till
hear it?
E3.
Yeah, wait to E3. Yeah, now the E3's dead. It's like wait till next year.
Yeah,
Wait
next
till
year.
next year. And like and really with the way their game development has been going, can anyone realistically look themselves in the mirror and say, "Oh yeah, look, I think I don't think these games are gonna get delayed again." Or any release window they give us that they can stick to that. Recent history tells us no, they can't stick to that. So something's got to change. Now I don't work at Microsoft, so I don't know what's going on internally, but something's got to. Whatever they're doing to support these studios, they got to step it up. They got to do something different to make sure that games start to get out because like we don't see this happening to anyone else. Every other publisher is actually providing or platform holder is providing at least one game for their audience per year. And here you are with more studios than everybody and you got less. It
Yeesh,
don't make sense.
that's crazy. Yeah, and I think what makes it worse too is that they put out Halo, and we know what's going on with Halo. That felt
Mhm.
like it should have been delayed, but they
Mhm.
forced it, pushed it out. And so people are already disappointed with that, coming off the season 2 disappointment, and then they get hit with this news. So it's like I just think it makes it worse. So it's like it's looking bad. It's looking bad on the Xbox side because it's true. I mean, these other you got Nintendo. We got to give Nintendo credit, whether we like their games or not. They have games this year. They had games last year. They have games every year for their fans. Even if we think they're trash, they still have games. So I don't know, man. It just when you see it like that, you see Nintendo doing their thing, you see Sony, yeah, maybe they're a little slow this year, but they are doing their thing. There's stuff in the works. God of War is coming, and at least for now, we know it's coming. And yeah, it just kind of makes it look even worse for Xbox. And then you
Yeah.
start to compare, and then that's when the console wars come in, and then the damage controlling, and then it's just a cycle that keeps repeating with Xbox. I just feel like they can't, like you said, they can't be consistent.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What say?
Yeah, let me get some of these people. Shout out to Ramon Terrell with the $5 super chat. He says the delay is far less disappointing than the entire year of no first party that we know of. A spooky first year and a half. Then there's that DRM.
Right.
Uh,
And Ramon actually brings up something that we should highlight
yeah, we definitely
as
should.
of
Yeah,
as of May 12th, we do not know of any other games that are slated or that will be released by Xbox first party
this
this year.
year.
They do have literally to the day a month from now a showcase that's going to showcase what games are coming out. More than likely the majority of them won't be games that are coming out anytime soon, but they could have a Forza Motorsport that in the past Forza Motorsport has been a game, or all the Forza games have been games where they showed them at E3 and they come out later that year. So that's a possibility here. There's a
Mm-hmm.
possibility that the Obsidian game RPG that's very similar in game design to Disco Elysium, a much smaller experience, but that could be something that might come out this year. So there are possibilities, right? That said, as of right now, it ain't looking good. And
Mhm.
I do also kind of feel like they released this information today on purpose
Sure did.
because they did not want it to get too close to E3 with them already knowing they had to delay both those games. So as soon as they knew those games were going to need to get delayed and that decision was made, they wanted to let us know as soon as possible because what they don't want is that the delays of Redfall and Starfield to completely overshadow their showcase where
Yeah.
no one's talking about the games. Forget that. Well, I don't care what they showed. No games this year. It's going to be the only narrative. This way, a full month before the showcase, all the emotions get out. People get
Mhm.
used to it. And by June 1st, it's like, okay, what they gonna show us? Because people have already got it in and out of their system that these games aren't coming, and it is what it is. And the emotions have died down. and people are a little bit more calmer, and then they can go into the showcase and actually give the games that they will show us a fair shot, hopefully. But I do think that that talk will come right back up if on June 13th, the actual release schedule for Xbox first party has not changed for 2022.
Yep, I was going to say the same exact.
Yeah.
if
That
you
talk gonna come right back up.
if they come out of that showcase and don't have a game releasing this year, it's going to be even worse than it is right now. And oh my god, let's be for real here, man. This I ain't think it could get more disappointing than it actually has gotten. You know, you try to have the understanding that development is hard, games are hard. You try to get a benefit of the doubt when it comes to, pandemic. When what's his name? Joseph Staten was on. What show was he on? I think it was Kind of Funny. He was on there, and he was talking about how half of 343 is still at home, not even in the office. They're not even in the office yet. So you would kind of think that if that's the state at one of Microsoft's biggest studios, it's probably the state at a lot of these other studios too. So, but we don't want to use that as a crutch for them.
But still, like, I mean, there's some studios that work that, like Moon Studios is a completely remote
from
studio.
home. Yeah.
So, like, I mean, at this point, you should be adjusting. Like, I hate the whole. I hate to say this because the pandemic is the pandemic, and
exactly.
it's been devastating to everybody. But damn it, get over it.
So,
Like, it's time to adjust. It's been 2 years in this pandemic. You still haven't adjusted yet. You're not the only person dealing with a pandemic. It didn't exclusively like attack Xbox Studios. Everybody has been dealing with this pandemic, and yet seemingly everyone else could get games out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Brap Enrique, Basement Radio Arcade Podcast with the $5 super chat. He says the problem is Xbox pipeline is not sufficiently seeded for the Starfield delay to not be a issue. And that's kind of where I was going to go with this, because the biggest thing for me, Starfield itself being delayed isn't an issue. It's just it's like everything compounded on top of it. Halo not being in a good place, not knowing anything outside of Starfield being announced with a release date for this year, which has been delayed now. Not really seeing anything of substance from the first party over the course of the last year and a half, because I don't count Halo, because I already said that Halo was a game that we shouldn't be talking about Halo and seeing it until the end of this year. But guess what? We saw it last year, so it is what it is. But it's just that they've been doing so well with their messaging and their marketing of their platform that they have found themselves actually leading in sales, even in a pandemic where people were like, even with Sony and Microsoft both being in a pandemic, that Sony was going to wipe the floor with them. Nobody just didn't know that it was going to be even rougher for Sony. So we got to give them credit for at least getting the availability of their product. They definitely worked on that side of it, but man, the 90% is missing. It's like we're missing the most important thing when it comes to a platform, to a system that we want to play. And I'm not a huge Bethesda fan. It's not like something that I like, shout to the moon, say I can't wait to play, Bethesda games. It was just something about Starfield, because I'm a huge sci-fi person. That's why I gravitate to games like Halo and Destiny and games like, Dead Space and stuff like that, because I like that type of game. I like the science fiction nature of those type of games. So it was going to be a game that was going to really, really get me into just wanting to play it. And when they finally have something on the horizon, it's like, man, it's not even a thing anymore, because it's been delayed. And people say it's a 6-month delay. I don't know, man. That's technically a year, because that game was supposed to come out in 6 months, and that game now we're basically looking at a full year until that game is coming out again, because they basically they didn't even give it a date. They just said, and that's probably for the best, they don't need to give dates on anything anymore until people actually know when the stuff is going to be ready. But that game essentially is a year away at the latest at this moment, because they gave it a first half of 2023. So we basically just hit reset on this year when it comes to Xbox and their games. And I definitely have faith that they are going to announce something. The question is, is it going to be enough? Because Game Pass is definitely not a free service, even though a lot of people are still living off of stacking their membership for 3 to 4 years or for 3 years. But it's getting to a point now is we're like kind of wasting time. It's like Xbox has been living on the good graces of this community for way too long, man. It's like at a certain point, we just got to sit here and say what really matters. Like, I tell people all the time, the reason I bought my Series X was because of my friends. I bought it because I wanted to play Destiny with Luca and Taz, and I wanted to play on games with people that are in the Xbox community because I just prefer the console ecosystem, even though when I have a PC that can do this stuff 50 times over than what my console can. I just like the experience of the console, but we got to get past that part. Like, oh, it's I want to play with my friends. Because we should want to play games. And at a certain point, when your console isn't giving you the experiences that you need, you start thinking about, do I really need this? Especially when everything's available on the PC platform. Now, that's not saying we're going to go and like dump our consoles or anything, because we do know at some point Xbox is going to figure it out. They have 34 studios. At a certain point, they're just going to have to release games. So we know this is like more of a temporary problem, but it's a problem nonetheless that's been consistent with them over the course of the last 3 to 4 years. And I just don't like the feeling of that no more. I just don't like the emptiness of just picking up your console and then saying, if my friends aren't playing, what am I going to do on my Xbox? Because most of the games we all play on our Xbox is because of the people that we play with. I wouldn't play Fortnite if it wasn't for the fact that Obi said, let's play Fortnite, and kind of forced me to do it. It's not the type of game I want to play.
You don't even have to be on the Xbox to do that.
No, well, I'm just saying, but since I was on Xbox, I decided to do it. I boot up Halo, and I do Last Spartan Standing for about 2 hours.
You don't need to be on the Xbox to do that either.
Once again, you're right. So you start thinking about, do I really have to have a system for this? Do I really have to fork out $500 or $300 if you're on the S in order to be in its ecosystem to enjoy the same games? No, you actually go the extra mile to support them and say, yo, I want to have the system in my house, because everybody doesn't want to play at their monitor or sit at their screen or their desk and play the game, even though you can hook your PC up to your TV. Everybody doesn't want to do that. Some people just want to sit down, relax, and play their games, and that's what a console provides for you. And Xbox hasn't been living up to their end of the bargain when it comes to their offerings for their system. Now, the question I want to ask you guys with this is, what do they need to do over the course of this year to at least make this right? Not saying they're going to do it, but for you as a gamer, a person that's either in Game Pass on PC or on a console on Xbox, what do they need to do for you to make this up? Because at this point, you're basically paying for a subscription service that Microsoft hasn't even honored themselves when it comes to their first-party offering, or at least this year so far. So what do they need to do for you in the future, Slow-Mo?
Before I do that, let me hit these super chats real quick, and then I'll answer your question. Shout out to Brap Enrique with the $2 super chat. Says, cuts, we know what the best platform is, and we all know what Enrique is alluding to. It starts with a P, ends with a C, and yeah, we can play everything on that thing. So yeah, that's what's up. The Ash and Luca with the $2 super chat said, we headed back to Destiny 2 full-time nautical. I really hope that's not the case.
No.
It's a game it's a game that works every day.
Boy. And then we got, shout out to BK Bourne in the chat. BK Bourne with the $5 super chat says, shout out to the homies. Much respect.
Hey,
shout out to you,
that's
bro.
my guy. That's my guy right there.
Big facts, big facts. What they can do to combat this, because I don't think they're going to have, like, I mean, look, you can't push up a game that's not ready.
Right.
Like that's not the decision to make. Like it is what it is. You don't have games ready, and you're not going to have games ready, and pushing anything up to do that is only going to like hurt that game, hurt the developers that are working on that game, because they're going to have to crunch to do it. It's just not worth it. Now that said, this is Microsoft, and you got deep pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's time to go out there to go to these publishers and be like, hey, what's the biggest game you dropping this year? Oh, that's it? That's it? Jedi Fallen Order 2? Okay. I know you got a deal with EA Play and Game Pass. Forget all that. Here's a blank check. What do we have to do to get Jedi Fallen Order 2 in Game Pass day and date? You write a number down, we'll make it happen. Because that's what you need to do to cover up this colossal mess up. You need to go to a publisher and get games into Game Pass. This Gotham Knights. Hey, look, we just talked about how Gotham Knights look kind of mid, but look, that's a AAA game you can get into Game Pass. Because the point is that Game Pass is your foundation of everything. It is the foundation of your platform. If you don't have content for it, people are going to unsubscribe from it. So getting games into Game Pass should be your top priority. And since your first party games aren't doing it, you go out and get something that will.
Yeah. I could agree with that. Also, are you done? I don't want to just
Oh,
cut
I'm
you off.
done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm
Oh,
done.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking, I looked it up right now, with Cuphead DLC and then Hollow Knight, which doesn't even have a damn release date. They got these DLCs coming out, right? Because I love my indie games. If they could do what you just said, Slow-Mo, throw some money at the Gotham Knights and the Jedi Fallen Orders, all those games that, the multiplats that we're looking forward to.
Mhm.
If they can get a couple of those and then consistently bring these indies that I'm really interested in, or I become interested in because they are on Game Pass. Because I love indies and I will keep my Game Pass if they consistently bring quality games. I don't care if they're not AAA, I'll play them. Like I just want a reason to have Game Pass. Because after this month, because I just renewed it, I might stop it depending what happens with like their showcase and all of that. If they don't really show me a reason to keep it, and it could be the smallest games. I'm really not that picky. Like I love indie games. So if they could just do that every single month, bangers, just consistent games where I could get it for $1 or 15, whatever I'm paying. Whereas with Sony or PC, I'd have to pay the full 20 or 30, whatever the price. Like just keep bringing me the savings on games I want to play. Like even that Timesia game we played, Slomo, like something
Yeah.
like that. Like if that was
Yeah.
on Game Pass, I'd be like, well, I'm playing it there. If I
Yeah.
don't get it early, because I want to try and get it early. But you know what I'm saying? Like these
Mhm.
games that maybe traditionally, like most, the casuals or the mainstream don't really look at. I'm looking. Like I'm looking for just games to come out. So yeah, that would be good if we just combine, what you said and then what I'm saying and just keep it coming because people will forget. If you can get a nice big banger in there, people will forget about Starfield and they'll be praising you. So they
Right.
just gotta
Yeah.
make up for it in that way. Get a banger in there.
I
Very
agree.
true.
Mhm.
So what about you, Sloma? Oh, that's what you already said yours earlier. So
Yeah.
moving on to the last part of just this one topic, the Phil Spencer comment. I definitely want to see what you guys or hear what you guys thought of the way that just Xbox leadership is kind of handling these situations. So he put on Twitter today, he basically quote retweeting the Bethesda update for Redfall and Starfield, saying these decisions are hard on teams making the games and our fans. While I fully support giving teams time to release these great games when they are ready, we hear the feedback delivering quality and consistency is expected. We will continue to work to better meet those expectations. So when you
That sounds real familiar.
yeah, when you hear that cuts, what are you thinking?
I mean, I feel like this is classic Phil. Like if he's just, that classic, we hear you, we're listening, and we promise to do better kind of thing. And I like Uncle Phil. I call him Uncle Phil or Daddy Phil sometimes. I call him Daddy Phil when there's good
Uh-oh.
news. Depending on the news, he's back to Uncle
He's
today.
back
But
to Uncle today.
no, but I mean, I like Phil, and I feel like sometimes people run with his quotes sometimes, and they just really like take it out of context, or they'll
Right.
paint him as like a liar and stuff like that. But I feel like he's genuine. He means what he says, but at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, you say you're gonna meet these expectations, but you're not doing it right now. And until that happens, people aren't gonna, forgive it, I guess, or for lack of better way to say it. Um, is you just got to do better. You got to show it instead of saying it. So I don't know, man. I mean, this is not surprising for him to say that. I feel like this is just a classic Phil quote,
Right. Slow mo.
Yeah.
basically.
No, yeah, I agree with Erica. Like, I feel like I've heard Phil, or I've read Phil make similar tweets in the past with some, like the Halo Infinite delay. I feel like he said the same exact thing for that. So it's
Hmm.
just like it's almost like copy paste. Like he's got his set template of, we're sorry, we understand, you're
Mhm.
frustrated, we get it. Darn it, we're
We
gonna
hear
try
you.
better. We hear you. We're
Yeah,
listening.
we're
It
listening.
sucks. But we're gonna do better and deliver the content that you guys expect. You've been saying that for about 2 years now, Phil.
Yeah.
And so far, you guys have not delivered on that. And I would just really uh like at some point to never see one of those tweets again. just just you delivering, so you ain't gotta tell us that, hey, we hear you. Because
Right.
the thing is that, like, listening doesn't mean that you're changing anything to make things better. Like we hear from people all the time, like, like my kids tell me they're listening to me, and then I see them still doing the same thing that I told them stop doing that. Like, they listening doesn't mean they're gonna change what they're doing until I get up and I handle things. But look, I it's probably a bad analogy. I'm talking about my kids, but like when it comes to just in general, when people say that they're listening, we hear you. We've heard this from like live service games, the developers of live service games, when a community says we don't like the fact that you guess nerf this weapon or nerf this build or blah 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 blah, or there's no content. We hear you. We're listening. Yes, we get the frustration. We're gonna work harder at that. We'll get it fixed. But they don't tell you what they're fixing or how they're doing or
Yeah, there's no
they
Right.
never address it.
timeline or
There's
nothing.
there's nothing. There's no actual action points or plans put into play. There's no bullet points to what they're doing to change it. So what did you really say? It's empty PR speak.
Yeah,
And I think that,
basically.
yeah, I think people are starting to see it for what it is. Like, you're not really saying anything, because we've heard this before, and yet here we are yet again with the same situation that you were saying similar things before about, and it's not working anymore.
Right.
Like, the more you say empty platitudes and empty talking points, but like you never actually addressing what the problem is, and it continues, the less people accept it. And like, he can't keep doing that, because if it's 2024 and it's like July of 2024 and Fable is delayed yet again, it feels like we're listening, we hear you,
We're gonna
you
see the
guys are
same
disappointed.
tweet.
Yeah, like, nah, fam. I'm tired of people gonna
Right.
be
Like, how
like,
many times we gotta read this tweet? Yeah.
exactly. Unsub. I'm tired. I'm
Suck.
tired.
Unfollow.
I'm
Unfollow,
done.
Unfollow.
block,
Yeah.
unsubscribe.
Oh my
Get up
god.
out of here, man.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
god.
got more I'm listening tweets than you got games.
Oh man.
Mm.
That shelf will beg to
I mean, it
differ.
could be worse. He could be sending emails talking about, politic issues and,
Could be. It could be.
it could get worse. Nah.
Could easily be worse.
Yeah, that could be much worse.
Uh, shout out to BK Board Gaming with another $5 super chat. He says slow mo. How many Twitch channel points to get you to stream Dead Space remake? LOL.
Oh my god.
Gotta be less
Oh,
than
shoot.
Bug Snacks. Me and T-Rock got work to do. You know,
Why gotta be less than Buck Snacks? Okay, so
because
Buck Snacks is 100K.
you hate
Is
Bug Snacks. You
100K channel
hated it.
points to make, but that's to make me platinum Buck Snacks. Like, that's like
What was it
Oh,
just to
damn.
make you play it though?
just to play Dead Space.
Yeah. How many? Just to play it.
75K.
$75K. And what's that, a
Yeah.
2 to 3 hour stream?
Minimum
much
3 hours.
Minimum
How
3 hours.
long does it take to get 75K?
No,
We gotta
it
be
don't take
streams
that
for
long. Now listen, as long as slow mo streaming, you can sit in there on multiple platforms. As long as he's streaming, you can sit on multiple. I usually log in on my phone. I'll usually log in on my PC, and I'm getting double points. And let's go.
Oh, it works
Wait,
like that?
what?
It does.
I didn't
work.
know it works like
It does
that.
work like that. Yeah,
I did not know that.
Oh,
it works
you're
like
sending
that.
the secrets out there
Hey
now.
man, I'll tell you, hey, gotta get those points in.
I didn't know that.
The only
I'll
thing
keep that in
is,
mind.
your phone will log you out if you're not paying. Your PC won't, but your phone will log you out if you're inactive for too long. So you have to actually be active on your phone like every 5 or 6 minutes, or you want to accumulate points on your phone.
You know what's funny? Because BK's like, bet we'll get the 75K. But you know what's funny is Slow-Mo, remember you were kind of tweeting out, and we've been talking about going to YouTube. This man about to switch to YouTube. Watch. This one to
He
switch
about to
over.
say there ain't no channel
He
points on
about to
YouTube.
switch.
I give you whatever numbers you want. You about to be seeing these lunchtime with slow mo showing up on that
Yep.
YouTube channel, man.
I see the scheming. It's happening. Be careful, BK.
Yeah, and there's no channel points on YouTube. Sorry.
Shout
Yeah,
out to shout out to the Slide Crow with the $5 super chat. Says kudos to your passion in the industry, Slow Mo and Forte, great show, and shout out to Erica for coming through. Shout out to you, man.
Appreciate that, Crow.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Crow.
And make sure you go to his streams and make sure you contribute to the channel points. All right,
Yeah.
moving. All right, so anybody else got any smoke for Xbox before we move off from it? Any more smoke?
I think we sufficiently.
Erica, you got any smoke for Xbox? Anything you want to get off
Do
your chest?
No, I mean,
Anything you want to get off your chest? This
if
is
I
a
think,
safe place.
I don't know.
Safe place.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm a Gears head. You guys know.
Yeah, so we need to hear it. Talk about it.
No, you don't want that rant.
No, I do. No,
yes, we do.
We do
Please,
want this
please
rant
do.
because we don't always get the queen here with us, so we need to get the rant out the
True.
way because you're gonna be disposed in the near future. So we need to hear this now.
Gears 6. Shoot, who knows when that's coming? But I don't even know if I have energy about it anymore because I'm so jaded. It's been a minute since I've played it, Gears. It's been like a year. I think we quit last March, or I quit. And so I've been through the cycle of like Gears and that disappointment and content not really being where I want it to be. So like when the Halo thing happened, I felt for the Halo fans because I'm like, I feel you. We went through the kind of the same thing, but then Halo actually managed to make Gears look good.
Look worse.
Oh,
right?
wow.
It did. I know.
Which was crazy. So I didn't think that would happen. I mean, I knew maybe it would struggle a little bit being free to play. There might be, some issues with that and things, but for them to actually make me feel like, wow, they actually made Gears look like they did more. And I thought Gears content when it was coming out was trash at times, like not enough maps or skins that don't make sense, like the WWE dudes. I'm like, what is this? This ain't even Gears anymore. What the freak is this? But here we are a year later, and I'm like really thinking, wow, Halo managed to be that bad and make Gears look good, which is crazy. So to me, that tells a lot. I feel like that says a lot about Xbox. There's definitely something going on management-wise, and it sucks to see because I want Xbox to do good. Like I genuinely do. I've always wanted them to. I was on the Xbox One last gen, and then I sold it because I was so disappointed, and then I bought one again for Gears 4, and then it was like really like Gears box. Then so I went through that disappointment. I think that's why people kind of labeled me like, oh, well, you're always on PlayStation now, because I went to the PS4 and I kind of didn't look back because Xbox just wasn't doing anything. And besides Ori and Gears and maybe a couple others like Cuphead, because it came out there first or whatever.
Right.
I really was just on my PlayStation 4. And then we go into this gen, and then they make somewhat of a comeback a little bit, right? We were seeing, their Xbox is getting it together. They got these studios, they got the money, they got the pockets. and they can't even come out with any games, and it's like, what is going on? So I just I want them to do good, and they just keep going down, and that's all I had to say, I guess. And Gears is so near and dear to me that what I went through with Gears 5 and feeling that disappointment, I feel like my expectations are just down for Gears 6. And that's a sad thing to say. If you
Mm.
know me well enough, you know, man, I'm a Gears head. And
Yeah,
it's
you
just
are.
it's hard. It sucks to say that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. When I used to
It's
watch,
crazy.
when I used to watch you play Gears with the squad, I used to like watch the streams. Just I was like, man, I wish I was into Gears because this is it. Just look, y'all just had it was like a joyful fun. You're playing with your friends. You're playing a game
Yeah.
that you really truly enjoy playing, but then it's like it just instantly, especially for you, it just stopped because you just like I can't do this anymore.
Dude.
And I think a lot of people, especially me, because that's how I feel about Halo. And I tried playing at the latest season. I played it for 2 hours, and I was like, man, I can't do this. It's like the new stuff isn't interesting enough, and the old stuff is old at this point. And I said
Mhm.
I need more. So not saying that it's the end, and we'll definitely jump back in there, but I'm more like you. I'm just waiting for them to do a complete revamp of everything that's going on with that game to actually get us to want to care about it again. But I will ask you this. I do need you to
Mhm.
jump back on Halo. I need you to bring your squad so we can play y'all again.
Oh.
We need to get another Scum Family versus Troubleshooter game, and this time
Okay.
make sure your whole squad is there. You know, we don't want you handicapped like you were last time.
So you want to challenge us.
We
Okay,
already
I'll let them
challenged you.
know.
We already challenged you one time, and we want to give you a chance to redeem yourself.
Oh my
I'll get
god.
oh wow. Well, we were
Forte,
missing
why
players
you
for
got
the
why
record. For the record, we were missing players
I
that
know
night.
that's what I'm saying. You were missing people.
I'm gonna get the real Halo players
That's
in
what we
there. I'm
want.
gonna get them in there.
We want the people that's gonna make us cry. I want slow
Lord
mo.
have
I want
mercy.
slow mo to be put in this place so he can't talk about 31
Why
and one.
I'm not saying anything. I didn't say a word about anything.
I
Why are you putting me in this?
because slow
Listen.
mo's
I want
the go getter, man. You know,
Almost really good at Halo. You guys are good.
we're
For sure. You guys are
no, we're
good. I don't
terrible.
want to scare you though, but
That's
we
what
got
I'm
some
saying.
players.
That would make me play Halo
We
again if I could get you guys over there to play. Because as much as I would love to get my butt beat, which is I'm not going to talk any mess about that. But as much as I would love to get stomped in Halo, I would love to just play against you guys because it was fun playing y'all,
It was fun.
that was
It
the
was really
funnest.
fun.
That was probably the best moment in Halo I had. Those 2 or 3 games that we played against each other, and that was really really fun. So
Yeah.
we
That was
definitely need to
fun.
do that again.
So
Definitely.
you thinking
I'm down.
custom matches is probably going to the only way to really like get some enjoyment out of it, is what you're saying?
Basically, at this
I
point,
mean, I don't want to scare you, Forte, but we got some
let's
players that have been
go.
accused of cheating.
Well,
That's
Oh, you
how
talking about
good
Eric?
they are.
yeah,
Eric,
Eric.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
That's how
Eric
good
is a
they
cheater.
are.
Eric is very good.
Eric, he's
Eric is
very
very
good.
good.
Eric's a beast.
We know he's
He's
not
the
a
god for a
cheater.
reason.
We know he's not a
Yeah.
cheater, and that's fine.
No, I know, but he's just that good,
I
you
know
know,
he's
to
that
get
good.
accusations. Yeah,
Oh,
but
we know he's
it's
good.
funny too because we don't play Gears anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have dudes like BitCloud out here calling us out to challenge us in Gears, and we don't even play it no more. You see, people wait for us to drop games to have a chance.
But is that really
It's
a challenge?
crazy.
It's freaking Ryan, Big Cloud. Come on,
It's
that's not a challenge.
crazy.
He just
I'm
say
over
stuff.
here, dude. We've been laughing in our like group DM and stuff because this man literally waited till I'm pregnant, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm all pregnant here, and we got these guys on my team that don't even play no more. And then BitCloud's like, Erica, where you at? Where's the
Has he
troubleshooters at?
even played Gears before? Like I don't even like.
I don't even know, honestly. But it's funny, man. It's a good time. Even if I don't even care about losing or whatever. We have fun, so we should one of these nights
Yeah,
just play.
let's
Yeah,
do it. But
Yeah.
let's
Let's
do
just
it.
do it. Yeah, it's
I'd
fun.
be down.
All right, so listen, I was the one that had to bring this up because I think everybody was like, oh, don't bring that. I was like, listen, I want to play them because it was fun and they were
Yeah.
friends. It ain't got nothing to do about who won and lost. It was fun. And we're gonna leave it at
Yeah.
that. Moving on to the second to last topic, which these last two will be short, so we can get up out of here. Nintendo Switch passes 107 million consoles sold. 107 million for a console that everybody thought was going to be garbage when it released back in 2017. They didn't think
Yeah, I remember
they
that.
didn't believe in it. They was like, man, what is this system? The handheld hybrid that's going to fail. Shout out to Michael Pachter being wrong once again. Every day that the Switch sells another million, he's even more wrong. But cuts.
It's the pack the curse.
It's the pack the curse.
Yeah.
We'll start with you, Erica, because we know Slow-Mo, he was a fraud and traded his Switch in years ago.
How am I a fraud?
Wow.
He was a fraud, traded his Switch in
How?
years ago.
How is it a fraud though?
Because the man, he talks about all these games he wants to play that's on there that's not first party. But he talks
I'm going to play him.
No, but
on my Steam Deck.
He could have been
better performance.
But he got his Steam Deck this year, but he's been talking about these games for the last couple of years. He said, I would.
Oh, name them.
I don't
Which
remember
ones?
What games is it you've been talking about?
Okay.
Well, Triangle Strategy. Name them.
Triangle Strategy.
You said you don't wait. You said you don't wait on games, Slow-Mo, though, right?
I'm not buying a $300
You had a
Switch
$300 Switch and you
game.
traded it in. You should have just kept it.
One game that I barely want to play.
Slow-Mo, what did you trade your Switch in for? Why did you trade it in?
I don't even remember. I think I traded it in because I wanted to lower how much it was going to cost to get a PS5. That's what I did. Yeah.
But Slow-Mo, come on now, man.
But what I should have did was just did what I was originally going to do, which is use it as a frisbee and throw it in the Potomac River. That's what I was going to do.
Okay, so
I did the better thing and made some money.
Money off. Okay, so Erica, thoughts on where Nintendo is with their platform at this moment?
I think this is the first time I've seen that number. I didn't even know they tweeted this or talked about it. 107 million. That's crazy. That's a lot. The Switch is I mean, you can't deny it. It's a freaking it's successful as hell. And I was one of the people who thought it did look good, like it was gonna be a good, successful system. Because I remember back when it was first announced and people were like, oh, it's gonna be trash. It's because we were coming from the Wii U and that disaster. So I understand people having, doubts and stuff, but I was one of the ones that was like, this looks pretty cool, and how you could switch it from being a console and then handheld and all of that. I thought it was great, but after Breath of the Wild and a couple other games came out, I kind of stopped playing it because, it wasn't consistent enough in the games that I wanted to play.
Right.
But when a game does come out like Metroid Dread, I bought it, I beat it. I played that last year. Yeah, it's a tough game, but it's awesome. I love Metroid. But but since then, I haven't touched it. It's just kind of sitting there. So for me, it's just one of those, like, when the game comes out that I really want, yeah, I'll pick it up. It's there. I'm gonna keep it and keep it handy. But I can understand people just trading it in or selling it because they're probably going through what I go through. They play the one game and then everything else is like on PC, or now the Steam Deck, you can get it on there like Slow-Mo and get it at better frame rates and stuff. Because the Switch, we know how it is. Like, those frames aren't that great and stuff. But anyways, back to
barely last gen hardware.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy, but yeah, I mean, it's good for them. I'm glad. I'm happy it's doing well. The only thing bad about it is I feel like it makes Nintendo content, and they feel like they're not going to need to put out a more powerful system because it's selling so damn well. And that's the only thing bad about it, is really like, oh well, they have no reason to put out another system. Look how good it's doing. Look at these games that sell, like Pokemon and all that. Dude, they sell a lot of copies. Their games continue to sell. Mario Kart's always in the top 10.
Over 50 million now.
Breath of the Wild, like, yeah, they sold so many copies. And we could have complaints all day about frame rates and whatever. It don't even matter anymore because they keep selling no matter what. And it's freaking Nintendo. What can you say,
Yeah, do you before I move to Slow-Mo, do you think that key phrase right there, their games keep selling, do you think that is something that is going to maybe harm them in the future when it comes to, like, stifle their development and their growth when it comes to, like, the maturation of their platform? Or do you think it's just going to be business as usual because kids are born every day?
maybe a mix of both, but yeah, the business as usual, kids born every day, Mario's just constantly in rotation. Me and Shar on our podcast, we joke around and talk about Mario, and Shar hates Mario, wants Mario to die off, and I'm like, Shar,
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen because there's
Yeah,
kids born
Shar.
every day,
I I'm down with that,
But
man.
I you
Mario
know,
is dead.
it's Mario. What's coming out? The Strikers is coming out this
Yeah,
year.
Mario
Mario
Strikers.
Strikers,
Yeah,
and but they got other things. I mean, they got their Splatoon. They got
two Pokemon games at the end of the
Xenoblade and
year.
Pokemon. I mean, they have a lot of IPs, and there's so many that are dormant and they're not using, like Star Fox. It's like, where's Star Fox? Where's F-Zero? They have so much stuff. So the OGs like me, who grew up on Nintendo, played Star Fox and played F-Zero and games like
Mm-hmm.
that, we're like, man, where are these games? But the kids and the Pokemon lovers, and they're just constantly going to be happy and constantly be buying these games. And people who love Mario and just had a kid and, oh, let's get Mario. It's just, that's Nintendo. I mean, I feel like, yeah, they're gonna put out the Metroid Dreads and maybe a good, Zelda, and they're gonna mature it a little bit, or they're gonna make it evolve a little bit. Like we got the open world Zelda and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still gonna be at its core a family system, kids growing up with Nintendo. So then the Marios and all that's just gonna be in the forefront, and that could be frustrating for somebody like us, maybe, but for Nintendo, they're just cleaning up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a constant cycle, and they're in their own lane, as we always say, they're in their own lane, and the kids are covered. And they got games like Fortnite on there and stuff like that. I mean, they're good. They're really good.
Yeah. Let's just look at it. So Mario Kart 45 million, Animal Crossing 38 million, Smash Brothers 28 million, Breath of the Wild 26 million, Sword and Shield
Mhm.
24 million, Mario
Cares?
Odyssey
Where they got all these
23,
sales?
Mario
Yada yada
the
yada.
worst Mario Party ever made 17 million, Brilliant Stars and Diamonds set
It's
14 million. A
insane.
freaking Let's Go game that was based off a freaking a phone game, 14 million, and the
Mhm.
atrocity of all of them, the atrocity, Ring Fit, 14 million. I'm surprised they didn't put I'm surprised they didn't put Labo on this
Wow.
list.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it. Like, if you're Nintendo and you could put out the bare minimum in the console as far as power and all the features, they don't even have messaging
Yeah,
on their damn console. They don't have achievements.
they don't.
And you're selling like that? Dude,
They had Bluetooth capability since the very
it's
start and waited like
insane.
3 years to finally give these people Bluetooth. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
Right.
it
And
is.
Absolutely disgusting.
and you see
And
how the fans can be, sorry to cut you off, but they
no,
they
go
can
ahead.
be just as content. They, "Oh, it's okay. I don't need achievements. I don't need," dude, it's a culture, and they just adapt it, and they just keep supporting it no
Yeah.
matter what. It's crazy.
So
Go
Slow-mo,
ahead,
go
Slomo.
ahead and
Sorry.
get your bars, Slow-mo. Tell us how it's irrelevant and how how you really feel.
I'm gonna say I knew the Switch was gonna be successful because Nintendo has this habit of every other console being successful. So,
Mm, mhm.
the N64 was good. The GameCube was a bit of a disappointment. Not like a horrible disappointment, but not as good. The Wii took off. The Wii U did not, and then we got the Switch. So I knew that the Switch was going to be their redemption because what they do
Mhm.
is that they make a misstep and then they fix it on the next console. They fix that misstep, but then like at some point they forget they forget themselves, and then they
Mhm.
go back to doing stupid stuff again, and that's where we're at. That's the stage that we're at right now, where they're not addressing what the consumers want. They're getting paid, they're getting money. And as far and it's not that's not exclusive to Nintendo. All of them would do that. Xbox would do that. PlayStation does that. Like if you're going to keep giving me tons of money, why am I going to give you anything that you complain about, especially if I don't have any competition in my lane in my market, which like Nintendo really doesn't have any competition in what they do. They're a little bit adjacent to Sony and Xbox, so they don't really have any actual competition. Um, the Steam Deck is not competition. Valve can't even make enough of them to even make it
Right.
potentially
Yeah, and
competition.
it's sold through Steam. It's not even sold through like stores yet, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's not competition. It's better for those who want to tinker like myself and like Erica, but it's not like
Mhm.
something that you're going to be like you're not going to find some kids with a Steam Deck. The thing is huge.
Yeah. It's a
Like
huge
but you
system.
got some kids that might not be even be able to carry the thing. It's huge. It's got a huge screen. It's and the software is getting better. It's not the best at this moment, but it's they got updates coming out every day. Let me start talking about Steam Deck. Like this is the point. But my point is that Nintendo will, as long as they continue to keep supporting the Switch, it's going to continue to keep sounding like this. The reason why we don't see a Switch Pro yet is because it's been so successful. And that
Mhm.
even though the hardware is a piece of crap, it's outdated. It was outdated the day they released it, and every day since then it becomes far more outdated and pathetic. But regardless of all that, it keeps selling, so it don't matter. Now, if it wasn't selling, we would already have a Switch Pro by now. At the most, what they were willing to do was give us the Switch OLED
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and make like common sense changes, like that trash kickstand that it had for the initial version. They replaced that with a real kickstand. It's just like little things like that. Actually having a LAN Ethernet port in the cradle, which should have been there at launch. Like what the heck? Like so now, like they doing little things like that, but uh, they're not going to create a whole new SKU with a new APU, a new Tegra chip that at that point will split their player base with games that are far more powerful that the current Switch is not capable of running, but the new one would. So I don't think we're ever going to really get a Switch Pro. What I think is going to happen is that we're going to get a whole new platform for Nintendo. They call it the Switcher. I don't know.
Switcher.
What like it's gonna be a new thing though. It's gonna be a new name, a new console. I don't think they're gonna actually it would be the Switcher because I don't think they will ever make the mistake of naming a new console with the name of their previous console, because part of the issues with the Wii U is that people thought it was just like some kind of add-on to the Wii, and it wasn't. It was a whole new console, and no one knew that. So I don't think they'll do that again, but I do think that they've even though they deny it, they've been working with Nvidia on either the Xavier chip or it is the forgot the name of the other Tegra chip, but there's an APU chip that Nvidia has that's like it's about as powerful as like an Xbox One X. And so that's going to be their next chip in their next hybrid handheld console thing. And when they come out with that, then it's going to be like it's going to be a whole new thing. But like it will keep getting pushed down the road as the Switch continues to sell. And I do think it will probably eventually outsell the PS2. At the rate it's going, it's definitely going to do that. But I think it will.
Good question, Dan. Could you just follow it up? How long you think it's going to take? How many more years you think it will be till it passes?
They are selling on average. They don't have the supply issues that Sony and Microsoft have.
They don't.
So
Mhm.
I think they're averaging like 20 million sold a year, right? Is it
Mm-hmm.
like somewhere between 15 and 20 million sold a year? So I'm thinking 2 years. They should
Yeah.
overtake PS2 in 2 years.
Yeah.
PS2 is at what number? I
Like
forget.
140.
150, like 150 and
Oh,
some change.
yeah, they'll take it. I
Yeah.
think they'll get it.
Yeah.
Couple years, yeah. If like you said, 20 million a year. And especially if
Mhm.
these other consoles are hard to get and stuff, I mean, they might sell even more as
Yeah.
Yep.
time goes on.
I agree. Just ending that conversation, I really just think like when they first announced it, being a person that works at retail, you see quite a lot of crazy things when it comes to people's buying habits. And at the moment that they said it was a handheld, I instantly knew sooner or later they're just going to phase out the console, like the actual console version, and they're going to say, "Hey, our handhelds do better than anything. Let's make a hybrid." And when they made that hybrid, I was like, not only are people going to buy one, they're going to buy 2 and 3 of them. because that's kind of been the conversation around Nintendo with their handheld systems and stuff. The 3DS when it came out was 200 was what was it? 299 when it first came out. The 3DS was $299, same price as the Switch. They dropped the price of it by $50 because everybody got into that quote unquote ambassador program that they gave everybody a lot of those older Nintendo games free if you were one of the people that had a Switch since not a Switch, a 3DS since day one. So the moment I saw them selling handhelds, regular handhelds, strictly at $399, I knew this system was going to take off. And I knew it was going to be some time. People were going to go out and they were going to get one for themselves. And then the next thing you know, that next Christmas or that next birthday, they're going to get one for their kid. I was one of those people because I have 2 kids and I have 3 Switches in my house right now. So I contribute to the problem. But it's just a consistent thing with them. You know, they come out with, great
Hold on.
games.
Let's see how far you contribute to the problem. Did
Yeah.
you buy Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword?
No, I did not buy that.
Okay.
Okay.
Because that was.
I refused to buy that. I was like, what? I said, you literally did nothing to this game.
And
They
they
really
charged
didn't.
$10 more.
It charged $10 more than what
Yeah.
when I saw that they did nothing to the game, I was like, no, I will not buy this game. So I didn't contribute to that problem. But I think in general, I'm with you guys. I do think in the next year or so, within the next 2, maybe 3 years, it will pass. But the funny thing is, if they ever did come out with a Switch Pro, and it basically is the same system with just a beefier internals, they'll just add that to the system count, and that system count's just going to go through the roof, and you might see a console finally sell 200 million copies at that time. So it just
won't
really
separate it.
Yeah, they're not going to separate it, especially if they just beef the power supply or the power output of it. So I think that's all we got to say about Nintendo. They're doing great. You know, they got a theme park, named Nintendo Land, and that's always great. But move over to the last topic. Ubisoft, they shipping 3 games in physical quarter 2023. Those 3 games. Slumber, do you know what those 3 games are? Do you know what 3 games
What are they?
No.
Okay, I will tell you what 3 games they are. It's laughable. That
Avatar?
Yes.
The Avatar.
Avatar,
Okay.
Frontiers of Pandora, Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope, which is actually, I will give them credit for Mario
That's
Rabbids.
a great game.
Mario
that game's
Rabbids is
good.
a good game.
I'm getting that.
Very good,
And Skull and Bones, which no one really believes in anymore.
That
I
ain't
do
coming.
not think that's coming.
Exactly.
I don't even know if that's real at this point.
That's what I'm saying. So nobody believes in it. So no Assassin's Creed, no Watch Dogs, no Splinter Cell, no Sam Fisher. Ubisoft's already talking about selling. Is this where do we see Ubisoft in the next 24 months? Erica.
Owned by Xbox? I don't know. Honestly.
Oh,
I mean,
well, if you think they're going to be sold, where do you if you think they're going to be a part of someone else, where do you think that's going to be? And do you think this is enough for them over the course of the next year?
is it enough? I mean, like you said, that Mario Rabbids is going to be fire.
Oh, that's
It's
gonna be
sell
fire.
It should sell pretty good on the Switch.
Only on the Switch,
Should be
though.
good.
Don't do
Yeah,
don't do
that's
nothing
true.
for us PlayStation and Xbox people.
That's true. Yeah,
the
or
Steam Deck.
PC.
Oh, and
And the
Steam
Steam
Deck,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I mean, technically, you could get it on the Steam Deck, but yeah, I don't know. I see Big Cloud in the chat. I'm shook. Nah. I don't
It's a
know.
horror game.
I guess things are pointing to them getting bought and all of that. I mean, I wouldn't, I guess, be surprised, especially if their games are kind of dry and they start selling IPs and things like that, and they start kind of slowing down. Maybe, sure. It'd be crazy if Xbox bought them. That'd be crazy. I don't know. But as far as those 3 games, I mean, that Skull and Bones, that game don't exist as far as I'm concerned. I really don't even. That thing
They've been
ain't,
talking about that
ain't
game since
coming, maybe.
2014.
It looks even less interesting than Sea of Thieves did, because it seems to be just
Yeah.
like you don't get out of the boat. It's just boat battles, and it's just like No
Ew.
wonder this is like taking forever to come out. And I know like the lead creative director left at some point. It's just what is that game anymore? I don't know. Like I do
If
not think.
if the boat battles is anything like Assassin's Creed, I'm not interested. That stuff's
Yeah.
annoying, man.
That stuff
I
that
didn't
stuff sucked. Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it too much in Assassin's Creed. That was kind of one of the downfalls of the game, I thought. But I don't know, man. What was the third one? It was Mario.
Mario
Oh no.
Rabbids and Avatar.
Oh, Avatar. Yeah, that game looks a little spooky too.
That
You got the
game,
movie coming out,
the movie looks
but
spooky.
the movie. You think?
Man, did you see that? Okay, did you see the trailer?
I did. Yeah.
So you, so okay, maybe it's just that it was no fan.
Don't choke on your words yet.
Ooh,
I'm just
I thought I heard somebody come in. And this man really came in.
maybe the fact that there was no fanfare behind it, but it just felt like it was like, okay, that's it. You know, you got to remember Avatar when it released in 2007. It was like an experience. That
It was a
trailer,
phenomenon.
that
Yeah, it
trailer.
Yeah,
was.
but that's the movie,
No, but
not
no,
a game.
no,
This
no,
game is
know.
no.
like
We're just
some kind of. Now look,
The
it's
game
it's
don't look
being
like
the
that.
game don't look like
yeah.
that.
You know, it is running off the Snowdrop engine, which is a beautiful engine, and it's being made by the same people who made the Division
They need to
games.
redo that engine.
But
Okay.
like, I mean, what is? Are you running around jumping off of trees like an Avatar, or are you like the soldiers hunting those people down? Like, I just don't understand. Like, Avatar is so weird, like the IP itself, that like I
Mhm.
just don't understand like what kind of game that you would develop off of it. I do get why Hollywood would want a game to kind of like boost
Go off
interest.
the movie. Yeah.
Right, because they clearly have been developing this game with its with a guaranteed release of it coming out sometime later this holiday, which is right around the time the movie comes out, which is typically how they like to do these things if you're going to make a game based off of a particular IP. But the weird thing to is that like it's Avatar, like it's I just don't see where they're going with it. Is
And
it supposed to be live
Ubisoft.
service and Ubisoft? So like usually with Ubisoft, it's like this typical there's a region you go into, there's a boss of the region,
Just say it's
you
Assassin's Creed.
side
You gotta
mission.
open up the map. You know, you
Yeah,
gotta go to the thing.
Yeah,
you got to
things for the
synchronize it
old.
and open the stuff.
Yeah. And didn't they
Do
just
you
come out with
wanna do that
news
for
that
Avatar?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I
Go
said, do
ahead.
you really want to do that with Avatar? Like it doesn't seem like
I don't know.
I mean, the movie's
yeah.
gonna be fire, but I could care less about
I
a
don't
game
know,
for
man.
Avatar. What
Right,
you
right.
you have doubts for Avatar in the movie?
Yeah, man. After seeing that trailer, I wasn't excited. I thought I would.
Oh
have been
my God,
excited
here
to
we
see it,
go.
man. No, man. And I love Avatar.
Oh.
But you
Here
know
we
what?
go.
Listen, man. Let me ask you something. I asked a bunch of my friends this.
Mhm.
When you saw Avatar for the first time, did you see it at regular theaters or did you go to IMAX?
Nah, I went to IMAX.
What about
Everybody kept telling me it was a
Yeah,
experience
IMAX.
IMAX.
Yeah,
So,
IMAX is the experience. So I'm
yeah.
hoping, since I went to go see Doctor Strange and it wasn't an IMAX, I'm hoping that maybe I just didn't see something, but that grandeur, that scale, that
Yeah.
amazing, like when I saw Avatar for the first time, and even when I see it now, like it's something majestic about that movie that I was like, this is something. This is great.
I mean, yeah, they were flexing with beautiful camera shots. There was a lot
Yeah.
more weight to what they were doing, like them jumping and doing these crazy, like I guess feats to get to those little I forgot what they're called, but you know those little dragon things they
But
fly on.
right.
Like,
The
it was,
whale. A
yeah,
whale. They're
yeah.
grabbing onto the whale fin and
Yeah.
all that.
But
That
it
was
just
pretty
felt
sick.
it just felt like there was like I agreed, like it was like they went for the glamour shots, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. The glamour shots were great, but it felt like there was no substance to it because it was just like all music, and I'm like, what is this movie about?
Let's
Yeah.
just keep it a
I
buck.
can agree with
This
that. I can agree with
doesn't
that.
translate to a game very well. I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
boring game. I think it's
Oh,
going to
the
be a
game,
really
the game's gonna be
boring game.
boring.
It depends on the character and the team, but when it comes to something like Avatar, I don't expect anything good to come out of a video game
No,
for,
I don't
for
either.
Yeah, I
Avatar.
don't either. So
Unless
these,
you're in the
yeah.
military and you're playing like, you know, I'm talking about those little mech suits they got on when you're like
Mhm.
fighting and shooting the creatures, something like that in the
Yeah.
world. Maybe like it's after I guess all the conflict started and you know you're in war, maybe. But If we're just talking about you like waking in and out of a dream, and you're basically logging into this other body, and you're basically doing what you've already seen in the movie, that doesn't really scream an amazing game whatsoever. So
Okay. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So just
that's
based on those 3 games, it's kind of like, yeah, it's not I mean, besides Mario Rabbids, it's
that's
not
it.
really a stellar lineup
That's the
to
winner
push
right there.
forward. Yeah.
Ubisoft has pivoted to live service games now. So now, like, it
Yeah.
seems like they're taking their already established IP and then they're pushing them into live service games or other trying to copy other successful live service games. Like, for example, the Division Heartland is essentially Escape from Tarkov with a Division skin on it, and it's like Division fans don't want that. They want a Division game. But Ubisoft again is not seems to be doesn't seem to be too concerned with what the actual fans want. They're just looking at like they're looking at charts and stats and whatever
The
their
money.
investors think. Yeah. What's going to make money? Whatever their investors think is going to be a great idea. Hey, like, Fortnite's popular. Make a battle royale. Okay, let's make Hyperscape. It failed. It
Yeah,
bombed. Of course
it
it did. Like
definitely
it's like
bombed.
yeah, X
Yeah.
Defiant is disgusting. Like that's such a like a waste of IP. You just got
you hype for
these
Just Dance. Stop.
huh?
Oh, Just Dance is a hit all the
No,
time, isn't it?
he's
Oh yeah,
hype
that
he's hype
sells
for
every
Just
year for them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's their
That
number one.
probably
I
keeps
think
them
that's their
afloat.
number one selling. I think that's the number one selling game probably of all of their platform, all their games. Is
I
that?
would
And
bet on that. Yeah.
you finally got an update on a game that I thought was canceled. Skull and Bones. That was another thing.
Yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
That
one
We,
of
we
the
finally
talked
came
about
games.
back.
Skull Bones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that game is whatever. That game is a never. That game is a never was. Honestly, let's be for real.
Let me tell you about how bad Ubisoft's management is. So like they
Is it
took
worse than
okay,
Xboxes?
it's close. It's
It's
close. Okay.
definitely close. Yeah.
Okay, so look, this is what they this the reason why you're like so you're talking even hearing about this Avatar game coming out to make sure that this game came out when closer than the movie came out. They removed massive entertainment off the division. Massive entertainment is now making 2 games. They're making the Avatar game and they're making a Star Wars game. And even though they're a 700 developer studio, they do not have, because these are 2 massive AAA games, they do not have enough bandwidth and the people to keep making the Division. So when it came to the Division 2, a game that's a live service game, right? So it needs ongoing content. They completely removed them off the game, didn't put Red Storm on it, who was the support studio, but gave it to a completely different Ubisoft studio that is only 50 developers. It had never used the game engine or the IP.
Mhm.
So this is why today is the first time the Division 2 has had new content in a year and a half.
Mm.
Think about that. You
Yeah.
didn't even onboard the like you didn't even have the old developer help the new developer figure out how this stuff works so they could have a easier process of making content for the game. No, you just said, hey, all right, you don't work on this no more. You come here. You work on this now. Figure it out. So a year and a half later, they finally figure it out. Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Why'd you
Developmental
even
hell.
show the game the way that looked? Why'd you even show it looking like that? It looked like a Xbox 360 and PS3 game. And you still
Mhm.
showed it, and people was like, "This looks ridiculous." And just last week, they announced a new studio is going to work on it.
Right.
Didn't they say
Why?
Splinter
Yeah.
Cell's happening as well too?
Yes, Splinter Cell. Shout out to Agent Deli, who has told us that Splinter Cell went through 6 prototypes before they finally came down to just doing what people wanted, which is a single player Splinter Cell experience. Like, damn, you could
They
have,
want to do that live service so bad because didn't they just put
yeah.
out a tweet or the numbers like 70 something percent of their money or revenue comes from live service or something
Yep.
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
look at Assassin's Creed. Look how it's labeled and how it's the menu and everything set up.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's
You
why
literally don't
Mhm.
even have to explore. You can just go
you
press
could buy
start and
everything.
buy the
You
resources to
could
which
buy the XP boost and all that junk.
Yeah,
I
and the
remember
next
that.
Assassin's Creed game is going to be a live service game,
oh
ongoing. They said 10 years
Oh god.
ongoing live service game,
Hopefully they do
Assassin's
it.
Creed
Hopefully they do it
Infinity.
better than. Hopefully they do it better than Halo did.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't hold my breath.
I wouldn't hold.
Probably
Yeah,
just as
I wouldn't
bad.
hold my breath either.
Yeah.
So Big Cloud,
What's
Why
up?
you here, Big Club?
why you
What's
here,
up?
Big Cloud? Tell me why you here.
Mind my business. I'm just relaxing, setting up my appointments and whatnot. And
okay.
Oh,
Big
your
Mike
appointments.
sends me a link.
Oh, Big
Then,
Mike out here with
Oh,
the
it's Big
thing.
Mike
then,
again?
then he tags me on Twitter. I'm like, what in God's name is so
Let
important
me
that
check
he has to
Twitter.
interrupt
Oh yeah, that
what
was
I'm
Big
doing?
Mike. It
And so I'm
was.
looking here. I'm like, oh, Erica name drops Big Cloud. I'm like, I mean, it's only fitting. She everywhere she goes, she has to name drop
Oh
Bitch Cloud.
gosh.
So it's only fitting that my name gets
Oh
mentioned. So I didn't,
gosh.
I didn't take
You
offense
don't
at
flatter
first. But
yourself.
then when I go on the pod to look at this little clip that he, because he miraculously, cut out trimmed out the section which what was my name was mentioned. So I hear my name being mentioned. She's like, "Oh, Big Cloud wait till I had a whole baby to call her out and Gears." I'm
It's
like, you
true.
do realize I was
Where's the lie?
poking. You do realize I was poking fun. It was a joke. I
Well,
was
that's
not
what we were
dead
saying
serious.
too.
So
No, that's what Forte even said. Forte's like, does it even play Gears? I'm like, no, probably
I mean,
not.
I do play Gears.
But the point,
I played Gears 5, but it was a joke. Now, again, I'm not
as
saying that.
now everything's a
No,
joke now.
no.
Oh
Can I
gosh, here we go.
can I finish that? I mean, yeah, I played Gears 5 and going into Gears 6. I mean, if you happen
You
to want
really
to get
wait a
stumped
minute.
out by Big Cloud and the crew, I mean, what
Hold
happened? I
on.
mean,
Oh
he
Time
man.
handled
out.
troubleshooters that
Time out real quick. Time
would
out.
come out of retirement, handle the L. I mean, it's fine.
Okay.
We can
See,
do
Time
that.
out,
he
Big
being
Cloud.
And if
way more.
slow mo
Hold
want
on.
to smoke, I can get slow mo in that one in Rogue Company. I haven't played
You do
Rogue
not
Company.
want that
You
I
smoke.
don't
haven't
want to do
played that
that.
in months.
Let's
You
Actually, a
don't
know
want
year
to
what?
it
do
feels
that.
like.
It didn't matter how long it's been since you played that. You don't want that
You
smoke,
sure?
sir.
You sure?
I am
You sure?
100%
You sure?
positive you
You
don't want
sure?
any of that.
I remember them
Wait,
battles.
wait.
I
Let
remember them
me
battles
say
head to
something.
head.
Hold on.
Oh.
Big Cloud, let me say something. So you really gonna pull the oh, I was just joking. You
Ooh.
really gonna pull
I
that?
mean, where did I come off serious in the tweet?
No, not the tweet. You said it on Solidcast.
It was a joke.
Now it's everything, it's a joke.
It was a joke. She's trying
This
so
man
hard.
calling
She's
us
trying so
out.
hard. I like how Audible shows up immediately.
This
Like
man
everybody's
calling us out
like
live.
she's
And
calling all troubleshooters.
I wasn't even there. Some Merc clipped it and showed us, and oh, they want to challenge us. I'm like, oh shoot, like when did this happen? And then we call you out on Twitter. We address it. Now you joking?
I got like
Okay,
I'm
okay,
curious. I'm
okay.
curious. Hold
What's
on.
up?
I'm curious. Big Cloud. What squad do you have in Gears?
Oh, here we go.
Who do you have?
Me, I get Blaze, me, and shit, we can do 3.
Wait, who's the third?
Who's the third?
I get Meds.
Oh, it's a wrap. You guys losing. You guys are losing. Shout out to those guys though.
Oh, actually, I might just get y'all kryptonite. I might ask Vic.
Oh
well.
man.
Oh, he don't play Gears.
You don't play Gears? Nah.
Nah,
alright.
he don't play Gears.
I don't know. We might laugh in Rev and just have some fun with it. I don't know.
It
Been a
would be
long time.
fun. I mean, it'd be cool to get like
I
solid
was there,
cast
like,
versus us.
yeah,
Like,
'cause we
it'd be
don't play-
Audible in the chat say, "Oh, that's a
That's
dub."
a dub.
Absolutely.
Dub.
Hey, oh, what you
Absolutely.
pull? I'm just saying, like, I'm down for it. It's like I'm down for troubleshooters, fighting the RGT chat,
I mean, really, what it is.
Some rogue.
We can throw a
down the
rogue in there,
road.
but really,
I'm
what
just-
it is, Big Cloud, you
What?
just want to
What?
hang out with me. Just be real. You just
What
want
is
to hang out with
happening
me.
here? What is happening?
Let's be
I'm gonna
honest.
tell you this,
I
Ryan.
don't.
Brian, I'm gonna tell you this. Ask your homie Blaze if you want to see any of me in Road Company.
I mean, he said you suck.
He did not say that.
You sure?
Oh,
I am
did he?
1000%
You want me?
certain.
You want me to call him? Because he's got the screenshot where we all outscored you when you had your team versus us.
I didn't have a team. I was running with 3 randoms. You had a full
Uh-huh.
squad, and I
That
had
was
more
me.
downs than
That
all
was-
of y'all. I
You
have
had
the
more downs
screenshot
than
too. I got the screenshot too. I had 17
I'm
downs.
just
None of
saying,
y'all
man,
had more than that.
I'm just saying we're not getting any younger.
And I played with Blaze 2 weeks ago in
Oh,
Road
good.
Company.
They
You
saying
haven't
you
played
they
in
saying
Road
you
Company at all.
ducking slow mo. Big Mike saying you ducking Bit Cloud. He's instigating.
Ignore Big Mike. Big Mike's
Mike's a terrible instigator. Worst
Big Mike
instigator
is
ever.
amazing.
I already
Big
said
Mike,
it's whatever.
give me
We
a
can
Gatorade.
go.
Give me a Gatorade.
Oh my god.
man.
So
Like I said,
all right, Big,
no, this.
That's
What's
okay.
up?
It's okay, Big Cloud. So since you here, I'm not giving you the floor for all of these topics we went through. I will give you one.
Oh no,
So
you
we
know I
can.
had to come here with the little drums.
Yeah, I
I
know.
had to
But
do a
since you
quick
here,
say that towards
since you,
he had to come
yeah,
in
he
and
had to
talk
go.
to
I had
But
to come here
since,
because you mentioned my name.
yeah,
You summoned me, so you know.
since you here, I will give you the floor for a couple of minutes before we wrap up the show about your thoughts on the whole Bethesda, Starfield, and Redfall being delayed. What are your thoughts on it?
Like the showcase or just the
No,
situation?
the situation with the games being delayed.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with Microsoft. Whenever we have like we're super close to their events, but they always have like some announcement that just takes the wind out the show. The big thing about this showcase was going to be Starfield gameplay and whatnot. So we get the the announcement or the release date, and then boom, we'll have the game, and that'll be it for the year. You end the year off strong. The fact that they just flat out said the game is delayed, yeah, it's not a good look at all. And again, I've seen a lot of apologists talk about this. I mean, granted, I've seen a lot of stuff. Do saying that Starfield was going to turn the tide. Starfield was going to beat Elden Ring. Starfield was going to beat God of War, and we never saw a lick of gameplay. I
Yeah,
mean,
that was funny.
that kills me every time. It's like, can we see gameplay first? Can we see the damn game before we put these games in to these unrealistic expectations? Can we really do that, please?
Yeah.
It's bad enough we suffered through Cyberpunk. Look at Cyberpunk. Do we really need to have another one of those? I'm tired. I'm tired
You
of that.
know how these fanboys are, man.
But
Like they
it's just wild to me, dude. Like everybody's like, "Oh yeah, Starfield's gonna change the situation." Like who cares about Spider-Man or Wolverine? And I'm like,
Mm.
okay, we'll find out next
Without
year.
without
and
seeing
most
without
most of the
seeing
people
anything.
saying that about Starfield don't even play or like Bethesda games.
It's all a numbers thing. That what I
Yeah,
have more games than you. That's it. They don't
uh,
even intend to play
list
them.
wars.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's all they care about.
dude brings up studio like, oh, we got 30 studios. I'm like, that's so awesome. 30 studios. What do you have to show for it right now?
Yeah.
Exactly. Nothing. You can hear a pin drop in the room. It's like I'm tired of just seeing that everywhere. And then what the funniest damage show I saw too, when I even brought this up, whether it be on Xbox shows or even on mine, I mentioned like, yo, yeah, we haven't seen no gameplay, and then dudes come out of left field. But hold up. You ain't see gameplay of Wolverine, so why you hyping up Wolverine? I'm like, Insomniac has proven themselves every single time with their games and just the quality and the track record how they launch these games. I have no worries for what Insomniac's going to do for Wolverine. And them even saying that it's mature rated just elevated the hype even more. What has what has Tom done over there with the team to really establish this newfound hype going into Starfield? That's the
Mm.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's hard for me to get on board with it. And again, I'm not hating on it because I haven't seen it. I can't really say like the game looks bad or anything because I never saw gameplay. But that's the funny thing. I stand on that same square. It's like I can't get into this because I haven't seen it. But yeah, dudes acting like they seen the game, they played the game, and they're saying like, oh, it's gonna do this, that, and the third, it's gonna change, gonna right the wrongs. And I'm like, again, did we
Yeah.
not learn anything from last generation? Did we not learn anything from the generation before that? Did we not learn anything from just the way this industry works? That's stuff that just hurts every time. So that was my take on the whole thing.
Oh, well.
Yep.
Man, well, great show, everyone. Truly appreciate
Long
everybody.
show.
Yeah, long. Well, we didn't make it quite to the 3. We got going on a couple of things, but it was fun, man. This is always great to
Yeah, it was
do.
fun.
Yeah, you had everything. You got your information, you got your funds, laughs. You got your Erica, you got Big Cloud coming at her throat. You got slow mo. I feel
Whoa,
like he wants that
that
smoke.
did not
You got
sound
Forte,
right.
in
Time.
there acting like a referee. Oh, sorry.
You
Big
are
Cloud.
you are super messy, Big Cloud. Very, very messy.
That did not sound right, but continue.
What I say? What I say?
Moving on. Moving on. We ain't about to be here another He gonna keep doing this.
Outros, Forte.
Right,
Outros.
shout out to the homeboy Dirt Griggity with the $10 super
yeah.
chat. I had Xbox One generation flashbacks today. Pray for my legs, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Yo, shout
Pray
out
for me and my legs, y'all.
Oh yeah, pray for me and my leg. So shout out to him and We Bleed Green podcast. They go live every Monday, I believe at 7 p.m. So make sure you go check them out, man. They you know what you get yourself into. They like to have fun. They talk a lot of junk, and it's cool.
I don't know if they talking too much junk this Monday.
No, well, yeah, I'm
I
really
don't know how much
gonna
junk they
be
Might be
looking.
a quiet
I'm
show.
really gonna be
Yeah,
looking forward to
yeah.
this show on Monday
Might
this
be
week.
a different vibe this Monday.
Hopefully you can get your knees and your legs put back on for this show. But shout out to you for coming through, man. I always appreciate the love and support. But moving on with that, great show, everybody. Really appreciate everybody. Shout out to the 81 people that were here today. It's great to be back with you guys on the show. And starting with our amazing special guest, Big Cloud, you go last because you just showed up.
There you go.
Shout
There
out
you
to
go.
You got to
shout out
do that.
yeah, right. I gotta support the queen. You know, she grandma, man. Gotta support grandma.
Grandma up in
Grandma?
here.
Oh,
Yep, gotta support grandma.
You gotta
Forte
respect. You
getting
gotta
down
respect your
by-
elders.
Exactly.
You
Forte
know?
getting down
Yeah,
by
she got more-
NPCs in Fortnite. I'm just sorry. Go ahead.
I'm
Whatever.
watching this too. Are those bots that he's killing?
No, those
aren't even the bots. Those are the NPCs
This
that's
is-
just like
this is
walking
the-
around the
Oh,
map.
This is
man.
the training mode that we know. I'm not even whatever. Shut up. Once again, Erica, I really appreciate you coming
Yeah.
through. Really appreciate all the work that you put on your channel, all the stuff that you do with Char. It's always good to see. Please let everybody know in the chat if they don't know who you are, where they can find you, and everything you got going on with your channel.
Yeah. So if you're watching the video, you can see my name right there. That's how it's spelled. Ericuts for the win. Just, YouTube it, Google it. You can find all my socials. I'm on Twitter a lot, so I'll always announce when I'm streaming on Twitch and things like that. And our podcast, bi-weekly, called The Backlog with Erica and Shar.
Bleh.
And it's what was that?
Nothing.
Look at this man over here. What was that? You
I
got
didn't
you
say
got
nothing.
you got something to say?
I said
What's up?
nothing. I said nothing. I sneezed.
Okay. All right. Well, no, but it's we have fun over there. We talk gaming and sometimes we go off the rails, off topic stuff. And we definitely got to get Forte on. I know Slow-Mo, you came on for a bit. Episode 69.
Yeah,
you guys missed it. That was a good show. We talked
jaded.
about some.
Yes, it was.
I was
Yeah, it
jaded
was.
during
Yeah.
that episode, just to
Yeah.
say. I was jaded.
I know. I was like, because I had so many guests already. I was like, should I get Forte?
I
But I was
wasn't-
worried it'd be too many.
No,
so
I
was just like,
understood because y'all were going long for a lot, but then when
Yeah,
Slow-Mo
yeah.
kept talking, I was like, Slow-Mo gonna make this show longer than it needed to be.
Yeah, we did like some relationship topics and stuff like that, and like what makes guys hot. Slow-Mo had a lot to say on that one. It was crazy.
Yeah,
No,
I
but,
didn't know that Slow-Mo
Hey,
had
wait
that.
a minute.
I didn't know that Slow-Mo had that side in him.
That's
No.
I was like,
correction.
Slow-Mo can contribute to this conversation
Oh,
better than I thought he could.
Shoot. Big Cloud came through too, which was good. He gave a funny story over there. So yeah, we bring in guys like that, and Forte, you're next. We got to get you on at some point
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
whenever. Just let me know.
Or both of you guys, that would be awesome. But
Yeah.
with Scumcast being the same day, it's kind of that thing of like, well, can I steal you guys away? I don't know. But yeah, it was fun tonight. I had a good
We can
time.
figure something out because you guys start a little
Yeah.
bit later than us too, right?
I think we start an hour later. I think
Okay,
maybe.
yeah, we can figure.
All we
something
gotta
out.
do is all we gotta do is say we gotta go to grandma's house for a while. She'll be all right.
Yeah, come over for the weekend. Come have some
Right,
cookies.
exactly.
Come over.
Oh my
Alright.
god.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
but today was fun though. It was a long show, but it flew by. So thanks again for having me, and
no
thank
problem,
you.
no problem.
I
No-
guess thanks BitCloud for coming through too. I guess.
yeah,
and then,
we
Notice
appreciate
I
But,
said that, chat. Just want you to know that.
but
whatever.
good night, everybody. The chat was awesome. You guys are awesome.
Yep, appreciate you. Big Cloud, man, we love you. You always got a place here. Please let everybody know where they can find you at. And I also put all of Erica's stuff inside of the description, and it's in
Yeah,
the chat.
thank you.
So, Big Cloud, what about you, man? Tell everybody what's going on with you.
Yeah, no, it's always a pleasure. Always fun to hang out with the homies. Erica had to summon me, because that's just what she does. She does it every time.
I
Everywhere
wasn't
she goes,
summoning you.
my name gets mentioned. You know, it's funny.
Not even.
I did it. You know, here's a fun fact where she was live. What was it, the other day? I was being very nice. I just, you know, I dropped the super chat.
Uh-huh.
She made the super chat awkward.
I did?
Yeah, you did.
Which one? Which one?
What you mean? Which one? See, you don't even know what happened. I only dropped one.
On YouTube? Super chat?
What?
Because you were in my Twitch too.
What's in your Twitch, woman?
That's not a super chat. That's a
What
bit.
the hell was it? Damn, no, that was
Get to the point.
Wait, you got,
Get to the
wait,
point, Big
what's it?
Cloud.
Okay,
What
what
the
did-
hell was? You know, y'all lost my train of thought. She did that. Anyway,
I don't make it weird. I don't make it weird.
Why?
I make it fun. I don't make it weird.
Oh my
What you
god.
mean?
Anyway.
I need to come through these shows
What
more
I'm
often
not-
when you're doing this.
Yeah, outro.
I'm
Let's
not-
get back down.
I'm
Hey,
doing
good
that.
night, Big Cloud.
I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing that. It's almost. You keep pushing my buttons, man. We might have to do this earlier. I'm saying, dog.
Oh man.
Oh.
Hey,
End
any
the
time,
podcast.
Like that?
outro.
So-
Do
like
the
to death?
outro.
I
End the
got you.
podcast.
Stop the podcast.
When I'm not, when I'm not uploading, I'm working within the industry, whatnot. I'm a freelancer with IGN, so that's what I do on the side. But you guys want to follow me? It's Big Cloud Gaming, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Shout out to Forte, put it all in the chat there, so you can find me there. A lot of stuff planned, a lot of stuff going down, and I appreciate y'all. Thanks for checking out the show. Shout out to the 80 plus in the chat. Good to see everything grow here on this channel. Proud of both Slow Mo and Forte. Keep it up, and y'all be good.
I appreciate you, man. And last and certainly not least, the man, my best friend, the man that I call for anything that I need when it comes to gaming related stuff or just family or life stuff, Slow Mo. Man, 83 episodes with you, man. It just keeps getting better. And I appreciate everything you always do for me and what you do for us inside this community. Can you please let these people know where they can find you and you can make your next video about Black people's hair?
Well, I don't think I'll be doing it anymore. I don't know. I might do a follow-up video on that.
I think you will. You talked
but no
about it
time soon.
yesterday.
But not anytime soon. But check out the channel, Slow-Mo Backslap. Same name on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Great job hosting today. You didn't have any misspelled words in the topics list, so it was outside of you muting yourself in the very beginning.
The shade.
It's been a great job, sir. So yeah.
Maybe I should start taking the day off like I did today and get out of work earlier on the days I host. Maybe I'll start doing that.
Hey, maybe that needs to happen. We'll see. We'll talk about it offline. But great chat as usual. Erica, thank you for coming through. Big Cloud, thank you for coming through and derailing the podcast.
You made the list. That's derailment.
Say what?
You just made the list. That's the derailment.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Man,
Anyway, so
done.
Great. You guys have a great night and take care. Play your games.
Definitely. And you already on my channel. Make sure you check out DPS Podcast episode 84 on Slow Mo's channel next week. Going to be another great time. So make sure you head over there and sub to the channel so you can get that news and announcements and stuff. And for us, make sure you enjoy the games you're playing. Don't be too upset at Xbox. They're just basically doing what they always done, disappoint people in the 11th hour. But it'll be okay. But other than that, guys, have a great week. And we will see you guys next week. And we'll see you guys in gaming. Peace.
Peace.